right. Good afternoon, good evening, whatever time zone you happen to find yourself in this Monday. We are here today to talk about the magic of inventorying. We're going to declutter our loot. And we're doing that today with basically with the creator Kalum. And we've got 20 and Luna here as well. Basically, and we're all here to check this out and find out basically what it's like to actually have a decluttered inventory. Basically, what actually happens after the adventure ends, and you got to get all that stuff home. So, Callum, take it away. Tell us what this is all about.
Well, first, hello everyone. I'm Kalum, pronounced he, him. I'm a game designer from London, UK. Thanks for having me. It's 5 p.m. here. I hope we have a lot of GMT and Europe time with us. And yeah, tonight we're gonna play a game which is evolving towards a new edition with an upcoming Kickstarter. This game used to be called Paris Gondo, the life-saving magic of inventorying. So as you can hear, we decluttered the title. The reason why the title was so long before was it was a tribute to Marie Kondo, the famous Japanese well-being advisor and bestseller. Got it. The life-changing magic of tidying. And so no Marie Kondo here. We're gonna instead follow the 6 steps of the Gone Paris method, which was put together by Paris Gondo, who's a ethereal being who gave away their physical form once they realized it did not spark joy in them. We're gonna start this adventure where most adventures end. We already at the end of the dungeon. We went through minions, traps, labyrinths, a bunch of things. We're gonna find out what in sort of a flashback fashion. But we reached the final room. We reached the ruler of the dungeon. We dispatched the ruler of the dungeon. We might have hello at the back. We might have killed the ruler, or maybe we befriended them, or whatever we feel is appropriate. But long story short, the ruler is defeated, and we found some wondrous loot. But what are we gonna keep? What are we gonna throw away? Well, we'll find out. We will choose together, and based on our choices, we are more or less likely to find a way out of the dungeon, and then to find our way home, whatever this place might be, and then have adventures who are fulfilled for the rest of your days. It's in 6 steps. There's a step 0. What did I wanted to add here? I do not remember. Content warning. I'm quite tired from my day job, so apologies to everyone for that. I jumped straight out a complicated cycling infrastructure meeting to jump here. I won't reveal more about my AFK identity, but there you go. I guess a little round of introduction. I introduced myself, but I don't know who you are. So 2020, could you introduce yourself maybe?
Sure. My name is 20. My pronouns are she, her. I am the community manager for LoreLink, among many other hats that I wear. And I'm also a streamer myself on Twitch. And yeah, I'm looking forward to trying out this game.
All right, Luna. Luna was got a greatly functioning webcam tonight.
Yes, Tabletop apparently hates my webcam, so y'all get to just listen to me. But my name is Luna. My pronouns are they, she, and I am a developer slash test lead for LoreLink, and I love to organize things. Marie Kondo is one of my favorites, so I am very much looking forward to this game.
Amazing. Mark, I mean, everybody know yourself. We had a brief discussion offline, but yeah, do you care to introduce yourself?
I am Mark Delcros. I am the product lead for LoreLink. I do stream here, and I pronounce are he, him.
All right. So I can see on Twitch, people can see our board. We're going to use a... Oh, sorry.
No, it's good. We had an alert come through.
We're gonna use a mirror board, which is kind of a placeholder while my Italian publisher is developing a proper virtual tabletop fancy thing. But we need the mirror board because the game is based on writing on dry erase card and exchanging them. But yeah, you'll find out a bit more about that. But yeah, the action should take place in that mirror board around that area. And everybody from there were there? Everybody from there were there. So most of the action will take place in the middle, where there's a stone that reminds me of my mother. Marie Kondo fan might get that reference. Back to the Gun Paris method. 6 steps, but there's a step 0. Because Paris Gondo teaches us that individual invigorating experiences are tributary to the well-being of the whole group. So I was pointing at that stone that reminds of my mother in the middle. Just left of it, you see a big X card. For people who might not be familiar, if there's anything that makes you uncomfortable at some point, you are invited to use the X card. Since we'll be looking at different corners of the mirror at the same time, you can do so by left-clicking on a little pebble and frantically circling around the X, or feel free to just say X. And what we'll do is that we will just interrupt. You don't have to explain why X card was triggered. Just let me know what impaired your enjoyment. It doesn't have to be a big thing. If there's just something you find a bit tiring and funny, feel free to raise it, and we'll rewind, erase it, and attempt at avoiding that topic ever again. Speaking of to sort of mitigate the chances of having to use the X cards, are there any things that people would like to bring up that they want to avoid? Like, I had players who wanted to avoid references to needles, spiders, anything the whole group should be aware of?
I'm personally pretty open, honestly.
All right.
Also okay.
Great. Yeah, go ahead.
Can we avoid zombies, please?
No problem. Very good one. We could have had zombies, that's for sure. So no zombie vampires, or
I'm
is
good.
it Blanket Living Dead?
No, it's specifically zombies.
All right, no zombies. Opposite from the X card, we've got a bit less common card. That's the Spark Joy card. Whenever there's something that sparks joy in you, you're invited to take a little pebble and just leave it on the Spark Joy card. I'm very happy I was invited by Mark to join and to play with 20 and Luna tonight. So I will put a little pebble over there.
And likewise, I'm always happy when I get a chance to try something new.
All right. The next step is the spirit of the game. Through multi-dimensional experience, Paris Gondo found that the play-based Gun Paris method is more efficient when a tone is agreed upon as a framework. So this game is quite cartoonish, but even cartoons nowadays, they can mean a lot of things. I mean, it ranges from, I don't know, Adventure Time. It's Halloween, so you got Over the Wall Garden. I was just watching some Evangelion, which is a completely other realm, and you got some Rick and Morty as well. What sort of tone would you prefer? Family friendly, or more for adult content? Eventually, substance abuse and those things. I'm not up to date with Twitch's policies, so feel free to remind me what's the limit. But more importantly, what do you prefer in terms of tone?
For myself, basically, I lean a little bit more towards basically television friendly. I think is what I usually go for. And we basically don't have a strict policy on language, content wise. Basically, it's mostly just joking, having fun. Basically, we're not going for a very special episode of Lore Link here today. So
I'll put it to you this way. I'm an absolute trash goblin, and the reason we don't have a policy on language is because I would never be able to speak. So we can
All right.
have fun.
Network TV
I'm
after
planning-
10 p.m. There you go.
Go ahead, sorry. Yeah, I was planning to put this in the Kickstarter page until we got something better. But people are warned about language. Don't listen to this at work. All right.
Or if you do put
bu- bu- bu-
headphones
bu-
on, like a normal person.
Yeah,
Come on.
I don't know. Maybe they put it on a big screen with the sound. I don't know. You know, there's some people out there are really out of control.
Can't stop this.
So, last description of the session 0 step. The Gun Paris method is only as good as the engagement of the players with its 6 steps. Describe and role play the actions of your adventurers to achieve the most invigorating and satisfying experience. Focus on the loot your adventurer possesses when describing them and the feats they perform. So you'll see, if you take the rules, they're very limited and small. It would be rather dry if we were just like, oh, here's my 5-point card. Can I have your 6-point card instead? So instead, if you role play what's going on, which is, here's my sword, please, would you be so kind to accept it? And my character starts crying, begging you for your own other items. Things will be much more entertaining for the people in the chat room or watching this video afterhand. Finally, final little bit of session 0. This is a fulfillment ritual. I'm in London. I don't know in other places in the world, but here we often play after work, and we bring all this stress from work at the table, and it doesn't really belong there. So we often have, or at least I used to, little rituals to get us in the mood of whatever we play. When we played Star Wars, I would have my players sing the Star Wars theme. When we played Star Trek, we would make poses pretending to be in the opening credit of a Next Generation episode. But here, in the tone of the game, I've got a little fulfillment ritual which I invite the 3 of you to take part of, and even the people in the chat room. That's a relaxing opportunity to get in the mood, or even people watching this video before making up their mind about pledging on my Kickstarter. So if you could indulge me in this little fulfillment ritual, which is completely agnostic and non-religious, please close your eyes. Luna, I believe your eyes are closed because I cannot see you on camera. Please close your eyes and take a deep breath. With your eyes closed, I would like you to picture an object that sparks in you. Luna, for instance, that could be a webcam that actually works on Twitch. Just a suggestion.
Very fair.
But concentrate on that object that sparks joy in you. Maybe this object sparks joy in you because of a person you associate with the object, or maybe the person you pulled that object from their dead ends. Maybe it's the circumstances in which you acquired this object. Maybe it was a gift or a reward. Picture what the object looks like. Remember how it feels when you touch it, how much it weighs. But above all, concentrate on that joy that this object sparks in you. All right, and we are ready. You can open your eyes. 20, I could feel you were way there. Step 1 of the Gun Paris method. Oh, a teacup, nice. The dungeon. So as I said, we are at the end of a dungeon, but what is this dungeon? Paris Gondo has much to say about the belongings we cherish. They might be unique thanks to their provenance, yet it's the circumstances of their acquisition that truly binds us to them. So if you look at the mirror, actually it's going to be mostly hidden, but I'm going to take it here because the prototype beautifully illustrated by Buddy Hartley, himself a proficient game designer. We're gonna decide what this dungeon is. So we could freeform without drawing any card, just come up with whatever we want this dungeon to be, or we can draw prompts which fall in 3 categories. So it's not stated on the mirror, but the left-hand category is a little adjective for this dungeon. The middle one is the sort of dungeon it is, and the last one is the ruler of the dungeon. What I could do is reveal what's in the decks, or we can draw and see what we have. So we can freeform, draw a card, or pick a card by our choice. Which method would you prefer?
I'm
Good.
first.
Repeat that.
Sorry,
What
what
did you
was
say,
that?
Luna?
I said I'm Team Chaos personally.
Team Chaos.
I'm down to just draw a card.
Well, draw the
Alright.
first card and we can riff from it. Well, basically, we'll see what it is, and if we get inspired, we'll riff from there.
Okay, let's see what. Oh, should I take the left hand or the right hand one? Luna.
Who's Luna?
Luna, you tried to turn your camera on instead of unmuting.
And yay. Left hand.
Okay, I don't know what mirrors on screen. So the first card is this dungeon is submerged.
Ooh, underwater level.
So let me pick the card. Submerged.
Sugar coated was an option. That's
There
terrifying.
were a lot of good options. So it's a submerged dungeon, but what sort of dungeon beyond being submerged? All right. 20 left or right?
Right.
Right. This is a submerged citadel.
Ooh, the sunken citadel.
All right. And who's the ruler of that dungeon? Mark, left or right?
Can I say middle? Because I'm going to say middle.
Middle. Okay. Middle left or right? Because I got 6 cards, so I don't have.
Middle left.
Middle left. Okay, interesting. The ruler of this submerged citadel is a gatekeeper.
Gatekeeper. The gatekeeper.
There you go. All right.
People always trying to gatekeep me out of dungeons.
Luna, what is this? Tell me a bit more about this. What makes this place a citadel?
Let's see, what makes a citadel?
Yep.
Lots of heavy stone and like arrow slits in the walls and the ramparts up top where there's lots of like strategic tactical points.
Traces of ancient battles. So lots of cyclopean stones and traces of ancient battles.
Yeah.
Yep. 20. Why and how is it submerged? Was it designed to be underwater and maybe under a dome? Was it designed to be underwater and because the dwellers could breathe underwater? Or was it submerged afterwards? Or is it submerged or just heavily flooded?
I'm going to say that it is meant to be submerged and it's under a dome. Because Bioshock is in my brain.
Okay. Would you say it's even so inspired by Bioshock that is it steampunkish?
We get to pick
No, I
up
wouldn't say
steampunk loot if you do. Now she's
What
considering.
Well,
what
now
sort of,
I'm.
what sort of technology do you envision? Something more like ancient Atlantis and mix of magic and science, or just magic, or steam technology, or more sci-fi?
Wow. There's so many options.
I know.
We're gonna glue gears to everything, Tony.
All right, let's play off of Luna's description of the Citadel and
Hmm.
say that the location is obviously older than the last inhabitants because there is evidence of updating to include. I like the idea of steampunk, so let's say updating to include some steampunk additions.
Steampunk upgrades. All right, Mark.
Okay.
That gatekeeper, that could be anything. A gatekeeper, that would be someone who insists on that could be like an elderly knight, a bit like at the end of the last Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, who keeps a gate to this place. Or it could be someone very specific about the law of this place and refuse people with a different interpretation to be accepted in the true fandom of the submerged citadel. What do you want this gatekeeper to be?
I like the idea of basically going off to the Indiana Jones, the night, basically the idea of this is someone who has been invested with the technology of this place, and this place got submerged, basically to hide this power from the world until it was ready for it. And he's there as the last test. Basically, only those who are truly worthy basically can be chosen. Basically, can be chosen and allowed to take the secrets of the submerged citadel back to the surface, because they basically the wars were fought in civil wars until they finally realized that they were too powerful. And they had to cut themselves off from the world.
All right. Luna, what would you think was the big evil plan that you had to oppose, that this gatekeeper had?
Oh wow. The gatekeeper is trying to, like, the reason he's like the secret keeper type thing is because he's been doing some technology and like magic stuff that like runs afoul of what the law of the kingdom is, and he wants no one to know about the horrors and the terrors that he's been putting together.
So failed, shameful experiments.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think it's a nice segue for continuing on the Citadel for 20. What sort of minions did you have to face as you made your way towards the final room of this submerged citadel with lots of cyclopean stone, traces of ancient battles that have been upgraded with steampunk technology?
It was a cross between like there was a mix, not a cross. There was a mix of like mer people with gills who had been recalled into the living sphere to protect their ancient citadel, and also robots, like not like obviously sci-fi robots, but steampunk robots, like mechanical beings. Think Liza P, if you will.
Automatons.
Yeah, automatons. Great word. Thank you. Yeah,
I like complicated word.
Defeat these minions and then make our way to the gatekeeper.
Mark, any traps that you remember fondly or not so fondly from your adventurers to reach the final room?
Oh, there's definitely got to be lots of traps that played with the water level. Basically in the rooms, basically you would go from being dry to being basically the water slowly creeping in, waves of water coming through and clearing out rooms. Yes, all the liquid physics, basically suction and floating and.
No, I picture a mix of some puzzles where the puzzle with you got two jugs and you need to one is
To
empty,
provide
no, you got
5
two
ounces of
jugs,
water.
yeah, and also situations which were like those. Sorry, there's some fans out there, but I keep seeing ads for on a cell phone game with a room being flooded by something and you need to save a king or something, opening traps and so on. So yeah, a lot
Yep,
of
yep.
almost portal-like situation puzzles.
Yep.
All right. Anyone's got something to add about the dungeon or questions for the other players?
I think we're good. We've got quite the
All
place
right.
here.
All right. Progressing at a good pace. Then it's time for step 2, the party. Many things differentiate adventurers. Of course, each hero has a different name, appearance, demeanor, and background. However, Paris Gondo teaches us that among the aspects that make each adventurer unique, we should not overlook the belongings they are attached to. So, we've got here 6 adventurer classes, which are big classics in dungeon crawling. Here they are, my outdated prototype cards. So you see them on the left. So for people interested in the Kickstarter will come with 2 additional classes, enabling you first to play up to 8 players instead of 6. And second, each of those classes would come with rules specific just to them. So we will have the Necromancer and the Monk. But it's a bit too early to reveal them. So here are the classes we have. I will explain the mechanical differences between them. But my advice is always go with what inspires you the most, cool, exciting, funny characters in relation to the or submerged citadel, which was ruled over by a gatekeeper. But we got the wizard, rogue, bard, fighter, cleric, and barbarian. The first difference between them is how much they can carry. And here I organized the deck from to the left, the one who can carry the least, the wizard. Then we got the rogue and bard who can carry a bit more. Then we got the fighter who can carry even more. And finally, the barbarian who can carry the most. Now, we don't want to play dungeon crawling with systems which are unbalanced. Yuck. So to balance things out, the barbarian might be the one who carry the most, but their starting inventory has got the least interesting stats, while on the opposite end, the wizard's got can carry the least, but got the most interesting inventory in terms of stats, and in the between, you got a gradient of that. But yeah, no more explanations. Mark, which character class has caught your eye?
Oh, let's go with the barbarian, because I like the idea of the character who basically could carry the most, but that just means that he picked up everything in the dungeon. Whether or not it was useful or interesting, he picked it up. He was like, hey, that's a shiny rock. I'm going to pick that up.
No one want to argue against Mark taking the barbarian? I'm not familiar with your stream. Time for an intervention for Mark to stop playing barbarian.
He can have it as far as I'm concerned. That's funny.
All right, Mark. I'm going to move a little post-it there to the right,
Sure.
as well as your deck of cards. If I don't think, yes, I did properly, you can move aside the cards so you can read them as your leisure. You can also double, triple click on the type description to change the text if you want to flavor them with the theme of the dungeon. Yeah, you need to come up with a cool, exciting name for your barbarian. I will tell you more about it. Also, the thing I always say to people about the adventure class, these are archetypes, and you are happy to you're welcome to adapt them as you wish. We had a accounting wizard in previous games. Our replay features a penguin bard, and I remember playing a barbarian who was a metalhead who had been transported from a music festival into a fantasy realm. So yeah, feel free to when you type name adapt a bit your character. Luna, is your heart set on an adventure class?
Oh, I am torn between wizard and rogue. Those are two of my favorites. But I think I'm going to go with rogue.
Rogue, okay, so I'm gonna put you down there, put your name on the little post-it. For your information, for everyone's sake, while this game is about decluttering, I'm absolutely cluttering because I'm keeping a copy of all the objects and characters that were created by people playing online. I've got a separate mirror board with hundreds now of characters. Yeah, it is naughty, but that's the reality. Finally 20. We got a wizard left, a bard, a fighter, and a cleric. Which one will you be?
I'll take the bard.
Bard, alright.
There we go.
Oh.
There we go.
I was about to forget that I'm playing too. I need to pick one.
Yeah, you need to pick one yourself.
Alright. 20. I will put you. Yeah, okay, there. So feel free to spread around the cards to be able to read them at your leisure. What should I go with? I will go with. I guess I will go with the wizard. Alright, and I'm gonna get myself up here.
Wizard, a rogue, a bard, and a barbarian.
Alright, so everyone please come up with a cool name. Type something not too long, because playing online sometimes is long because people are reducing the size of the font and they're writing novels on those cards, which with a dry erase pen in person is less possible. But I'm going to ask you afterwards to describe yourself to the group, to describe your character. But as part of your description, I would like you to include probably not all, but at least 2 objects from your starting inventory, because that's an object that we will see you carrying around. So we'll ask you about who you are, why you are in the dungeon, why you didn't like the ruler, and yeah, what you carry around.
Okay. I can start. I've got a name already. I am Dog.
Wait. Just type at your leisure, and let's
Okay.
all do that, and then we'll have a round of introduction.
Okay.
Try to go fast with mine. Take your time. This way I can check with. Oh, I could have asked the chat room which type of dungeon they wanted.
What do you do with this bigger? Whoop. Need to figure out how to move things.
So for the items, do you want us to include that description on like 2 or 3 of the item cards, or just add it into what we're typing?
No, the item is more information you add to the item that sort of reskin them slightly to the setting.
Okay, cool.
Long story short, these will act as prompts because we probably will change those objects. So having a little bit of fluff in them will inspire the players what they can do with them.
Jack gets to watch me resize and type things. Yep.
All right, what is everyone doing in the chat room? People seem to be doing all right. All 5 of us. And just tell me when you're ready. So as a side note, this game, it's a steal if you go to conventions and run games to have a free hotel. You know, some gaming conventions do that. You just run Magic of Inventorying. In this moment, that's the moment we say, okay, I'll let you players create those objects. If you have a table of 6 players, you're going to take 15 minutes at least. And you could go off, have a drink, grab a coffee, and then come back. It's very leisurely. It's zero prep. Absolutely. It's easy to pick up. So, yeah, I feel a bit shameless when I run it at conventions. Which I did many times. Like the UK Games Expo last year was very intense. I think I ran it like 6 times over 3 days. And yeah, you can run it easily in 2 hours, like we're trying to do today. But if you have more time, yeah, 3 hours is more leisurely pace. 1 hour is possible. I did it. And yeah, I tell people it's a great game also if you have a regular group, I don't know, maybe a D&D table or something like that, a Pathfinder, and someone cancels last minute, you can just pull Magic of Entering and play on the spot. That's my big sales pitch.
I have to ask a clarifying question.
Yep, go ahead.
Am I meant to make descriptions for all of my cards?
No, it's optional.
Okay.
In my case, I just slightly changed the title. Like, for instance, I've got a moth-eaten ornate robe. I just wrote lab coat because I'm going for the vibe of crazy scientist, a bit like the scientist we described for the ruler. It would be a bit difficult on Miro, but I often have players, especially children, who draw on the card instead of writing stuff.
That makes sense. This could be able to just sketch out whatever you're thinking it was.
Yeah, feel free to check my Blue Sky or just the hashtag Magic of Inventorying. I try to post pictures of what players came up with, and there were some ones which were quite cool.
Okay. I've got 2 items at least, so I'm ready to go whenever.
All right. Everybody good? You can still populate them as you go afterward. So,
Yeah, I'm ready to mosey on.
I've got a quick character description and 4 items.
all right. Well, let's start with 20, and I will go clockwise, anti-clockwise with the card. 20. Tell us about your bard. Who's your bard?
My bard is called Osmodius, and pronouns he, him. He has ostentatious taste when it comes to food, but otherwise, he's kind of a road warrior. He spends a lot of time traveling around place to place, busking on the side of the road to make a little coin. And if you look at him, you'll see a classic Martin acoustic guitar strapped to his back and an old beat to heck rapier strapped to his waist.
Great. What I recommend to do to make things a bit easier to whoever is handling the view of the Twitch, I'll do it right now. When I talk about an object, especially when we're gonna create one, I will put it in the middle as I talk about it, so people can have a look at it easily. Yeah, actually, I'm gonna go next. I am Dr. Caligaro, who's hanging around. Is your typical mad scientist, wearing a lab coat with multiple traces of being burnt or damaged by meddling with different chemical substances, and he noticeably is carrying around a big, like, classroom wall size periodic table, neatly folded, and also something which he claims contains the secret of the universe, which is a 1992 Mac Pro, but that sadly is bricked, despite his best attempt to unlock it. It's very heavy, but he is carrying that thing around on his back with straps, convinced that somehow he will be able one day to access whatever scientific secrets are inside of that bricked old Mac Pro. Mark, tell us about your barbarian.
All right. I am this game. My barbarian is Dog, the Hordian, because he's a member of the Horde, and also he likes hoarding things, everything.
Nice.
He,
that's
him, probably. It's hard to tell with Thog. Basically, race, gender, all those things are just kind of unknown. Thog just kind of is Thog. Basically, his current prized possession is this outlandish horn helmet. Well, basically, it may have been it's kind of a horned helmet. Really, he got a really nice crit on the last hit of the combat against the gatekeeper. And just took part of his head. And so now he just has that as a really cool helmet because he thinks it's the coolest thing in the world. It fell off. It's his now. Thinking of things that just fell off and are now his. There's this wine gourd he's got. The bards thinks they lost it as part of the trial of sacrifice. They had to sacrifice something that was precious to them. Dog just picked it up because the bard put it down. Then we failed the trial and we had to fight our way free of it. But, that's fine. We got through it. What are you concerned about? That's Dog's wine gourd. It's always been Dog's wine gourd. Don't know what you're talking about.
I really like that Tog's pronouns are Tog.
Yes. I mean, doom, evil, hit, smash. Basically, Dog is Dog.
All right. And finally, Luna, who's Saphira?
Okay, let me bring Saphira's stuff up here. So Saphira is best described as Chaos Rogue. she cannot resist the opportunity to climb things or parkour off of things. She is literally pinging off of the walls, but often spends more time clinging to walls and ceilings in unique ways than walking on the ground. She's tightly bundled up in like full black leather armor with a headscarf exposing only the eyes. And she likes shiny objects and shiny objects and explosive traps. Oh, that didn't bring the text with it. Womp womp.
That was bound to happen at some time. Hang on, I'm gonna group them again. There you go.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna check the others in the meantime. Please,
Yep.
don't wait for.
Cool. So her favorite dagger, which is always with her, it is a twisty blade with an ornately engraved handle with these stylized flowers similar to classical Persian art. And rubies are studded in the handle as well, in the centers of the flowers, and it is made out of Damascus steel. And then she has, I guess if I have to pick one other one to show, it would be her reliable hand crossbow, nicknamed Shooty McShootface, made out of oak, has a face with a tongue sticking out of it engraved on the stock as just sort of a way of, yes, getting one over on her. I don't want to say victims, because I mean, they're never victims without good cause.
They asked for it.
Exactly, but that is Saphira, Chaos Rogue.
20. Why did you go after the old guardian scientist sage who ruled over this submerged citadel?
Well, I mean, great question. Osmodius doesn't even remember how he fell in with this group of characters.
So it's kind of a rude awakening situation.
Yeah, like 1 minute Oz is like busking, in a small town, playing for coin in the local tavern, and the next he's in a submerged domed city fighting and trying to figure out how to subdue automatons with the power of music. But I suppose we went after the gatekeeper. Is that what we're calling them? Because he was there.
He got between us and the exit,
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm just trying to get out of here, homie.
Can imagine the old garden going on a long speech while we just trying to exit, like, oh, do you seek the secret of the ancient science? Oh, but are you worthy?
Too many words. Too many words, Smash.
And meanwhile, we're just like, come on.
Luna, did you have any part to play in Saphira, are you responsible for Osmodius ending up in the dungeon, or did you just happen to be there as well?
I am responsible for very little, to be honest. I heard about this grand adventure going on, and I thought, underground citadel, there've got to be lots of cool fire traps and pit and rock traps and things like that. I have to go. And is like doing a happy dance, jumping on bar stools at the inn when learning about this, and basically begging, please let me go with you. I promise I'll be useful. I can pick locks.
So the origin, how would you organize, or how would you describe our little group? What do you think brought us together as we were lost / exploring this dungeon?
let's see here. What brought this group together? What basically, I basically for some of it basically feels like it's going to be we got in over our heads, literally. We're submerged into this, basically into this, and we all thought this would be a walk in the park. Like you just basically, it's a submerged city. No one has been there for hundreds of years. Just get in, get out. Easy job, easy money. Basically, Thog. It was explained to Thog using nice short words. Go in, pick up stuff, get out. Thog was happy. That's right in Thog's wheelhouses. Going in, picking up things, and leaving. Then all these things tried to stop Thog from picking up things. It was very rude. Then Thog's friends, or whoever Thog happens to be with at the current moment, is of course Thog's friends. He picked up new ones. Basically, there was Silly Bard Man with silly guitar. Now Thog's friend, because he was there. Basically, crazy person who walks on ceiling instead of on ground. Definitely Thog's friend because they can get things on the ceiling. And Wizard in Lab Coat. Well, Wizard in Lab Coat is Wizard in Lab Coat. And basically, Thog doesn't like talking for Wizard in Lab Coat. Wizard in Lab Coat can explain himself his own way. But of course, he's Thog's friend because he has cool coat. And basically, he talks about science. And those are big words. He thinks about the big things that Thog can't think about.
So I think that there's going to be a flashback of Dr. Caligaro in his lab coat explaining a dramatic moment in our adventure was when Dr. Caligaro revealed that it was all planned by him, this group coming up together using the powers of psychology, sociology, and statistic. I managed to do an inception on all of you to have you land in this place as I wished. And you have a further flashback where you see that actually Dr. Caligaro just spiked everybody's drink and pulled them on stretchers into the submerged citadel. So it was a bit less subtle and scientific that he might have claimed.
This Dog didn't get drunk. Dog just was there for the ride. Dog was like, oh, okay. You want me to take a nap now? Okay. We go somewhere? Okay.
Safira, how do you think we defeated the old Guardian scientist / sage who developed the technology of this citadel?
If I may be honest, purely by accident. It was accidental success.
That sparked joy.
It had to do when Saphira had climbed up to the rafters of the BBEG room, the site of the final battle, and Thog saying, "Friend, get down from there," and threw something up there to try to get Saphira to scatter back down. And in the process, knocked down a big heavy part of like the ornate gargoyles or stuff up under the eaves, which fell onto the gatekeeper. The oh god, 20, I'm sorry, your bard's name is escaping me. Osmodius. And Osmodius is just standing there shaking their head in dismay while also banging out a bitchin' guitar riff the entire time as battle music.
Osmodius, did you hear or notice anything about the old Guardian scientists as they were drawing their last breath after taking a gargoyle upon their person?
It looked really painful. It looked like a painful last breath. It did not look like this person transitioned in any kind of peace. I noticed that they had this glowing device strapped to their chest.
Oh.
And it stopped glowing as soon as they stopped breathing.
Okay, well, we'll find out maybe what this object was in the next step. Do we want to add anything about our group? Do we have questions for each others?
Let's say,
Otherwise, we
does Oz understand the rest of this group, or is Oz just like, I am here until I can get out, and then basically then I'm parting ways. Like Thog considers everybody Thog's friend, but basically I don't know if that's necessarily, if Oz thinks he's trapped in a weird dream vision thing, or if he's like, oh, these people are kind of cool. What's Oz's thoughts about the rest of this group? Ooh.
Oz looks at Thog and is just like, oh, sweetie.
Huh?
Oh, sweetie. Thog, you're just special. And,
Song special! Yes!
and
Very special. Only Thog.
Oz actually really enjoys, and I have escaped the name of the rogue.
Saphira.
Saphira, quite a bit. She's frenetic and fun.
Thank you.
I think Dr. Caligaro refers to you with just calling you subjects. Like subject O appear to show signs of attachment to subject S. Subject T still doesn't show any further signs of intellectual development.
Who is he talking about? Huh.
All right. Well, I think we can proceed with step 3, the loot. The play-based gun Paris method enables a definitive numerical classification of all loot. However, an evocative name such as the Hammer of Harmonious Smashing and a colorful description are the true path towards an invigorating and stimulating experience. So, we already hinted at some object that might have been taken from the gatekeeper or that would be on their person. But it's time to find out exactly what they are. And what happened, I'm going to hand you some. Each of us found 2 looted items. But what are they? We're about to find out. So to find out what they are, the first thing we need to do, if I get my deck back, is find out what's the affiliation of the object. So you can see on the looted item card, I'm going to take one in the middle, there's a little keychain where it says type class. So objects can, or some of your starting inventory you'll see have a keychain with a symbol matching your class. So for instance, I have 3, Tug's got 2, the Rogue's got 4, and so does the Bard. So those objects, when whoever carries them have the matching class, have their usefulness doubled. I will explain what the usefulness is. But yeah, let's first find out each of our objects, what class they have. So we have a thief, we have a barbarian, we have a wizard, we have a bard, and just for the sake of fun, I'm gonna throw a necromancer in there. Normally people would draw themselves, but since I don't know how to draw cards randomly on Miro, I will draw for you. So Tug, the Hordian, your first looted item is for a bard. So if you could type in your little keychain, bard. Luna, or rather Saphira, your first looted item object is for a barbarian. And 20, your oh, we're gonna have an issue. Ah no, okay. Your object is for a rogue. And the last one for myself. Oh yeah, let's move there. I drew an object for a necromancer somehow.
It's fine. No one will ever suspect that you might dabble in the dark arts.
Ah,
Perfectly reasonable.
there you go. All right.
Man of science.
Yeah. So now for if you do you have all a d6 within reach?
I do.
Okay. Continuing on the first object, we're gonna first roll the usefulness of the object. So roll a d6. So I rolled a 5, and I will type 5 under that little wrench on my first looted item object.
I got a 6.
I got a 1.
Ah, well, maybe it will be an emotional object. Who knows? Okay, Saphira rolled a 5. Let's roll a second time. This time it's for the encumbrance. I rolled a 3. And the last roll will be
3.
the emotion of the object. And I got a 1. All right.
Another 6. Wow, that just.
Oh,
Wait, these D6s do roll things other than 6s, right? Yeah, they do. Wow.
They're your D6s.
Stop,
all
Brad.
right.
Please.
Let's roll. Let's draw the affiliated class now for second object. My object will be for my second object will be for a barbarian.
I ended up with a very evil object. It has 3 6s.
All right. Mark's object is for a bard. Second one. Oh,
And-
yeah, a bard again. I'm gonna redraw because you got 2 objects for a bard.
I don't know.
That's
The idea
fun.
that Thog just kept taking the stuff that the bard wanted and just being like, mine.
I mean, okay, fair enough. You got the bard.
Yeah.
All right,
He's like, "This is
Saphira.
shiny."
Saphira, an object for a wizard. And finally,
It was
20, a object for a rogue. Oh, again.
1d6.
Oh, no, you got an object for a necromancer. All right. Now, with that in mind, we all need to come up with what those objects are, with a cool name for each of the objects and a cool description for each of our objects. But our description and cool name should reflect. Oh, sorry. I jump across a step. So you need to roll a d6 for each of your stats again. So for me, 3 usefulness, 1 in encumbrance, and 4 in emotion. All right. Okay, so while you're rolling the stats of your second object, so you need to decide what those objects are, but your description should, reflect the stats. First, their class, but I mean, you could have a musical instrument for a barbarian, and you could have a weapon for a bard. You're welcome to. Of course, if they are inspired by your submerged citadel with a lot of cyclopean stones, it was ruled over by an old guardian, and that was absolutely meant to submerge. It was not an accident, and it's much older than its inhabitants. Even better. But now giving you a bit of pointers. So first, the encumbrance of the objects. So the stats in the middle. 1 in encumbrance. That's something very easy to carry around. It's a ring, a dagger, the handle of a lightsaber. That would be a 1. Actually, what I'm doing is reading the table on top of the board. So you feel free to have a look if you want more inspiration. But yeah, that's 1 in encumbrance. A bit higher to give you some reference points. A 3 in encumbrance, where we start talking about a studded leather armor, a broadsword, or a violin or ukulele. An Necronomicon, as long as you keep it shut, that would be 3 in encumbrance. 6 in encumbrance, that's the maximum you can imagine carrying around. We're talking about an Iron Maiden, a piano, or the Ark of the Covenant. That would be a 6 in encumbrance. So no encumbrance, right now in the description was mostly about size or weight, but really, you could have a small object that is cursed, like the One Ring from the Lord of the Ring. It might be small, but it's wearing you down. So actually, it would be much more an encumbrance because at the end of the day, yourself need to be carried around. While you can have something much larger, like the Batmobile from The Dark Knight, for instance. It might be big, but actually you can fly it through walls, so it's fine. So you could say that it's got only a 2 in encumbrance. Usefulness. So usefulness of 1. Well, that stone that reminds me of my mother. I could use it as a throw it at my enemy, break a window with it, or just use it as a paperweight. It's not very useful. It's a blunt weapon. It's clothes that are not very comfortable. That would be 1 in usefulness. 3 in usefulness. We're talking about a fine, normal, not magical or anything, but fine weapon. It's all right. Or a magic item, which is a bit unreliable. There would be 3 in usefulness. 6 of usefulness. Well, now we're talking about the ultimate weapon. Magical item, which is truly astounding, like a ring of wishes, for instance, or invisibility cloak, or a magic carpet. Or it could be with a 6, could be a set of lockpicks that even Tog the Tordian could use to open doors. Now again, if this set of lockpicks for a rogue is in the inventory of a rogue and it's affiliated, it's not worth 6, it's worth 12. So that rogue could even open a door if there's no door. That's how good these lockpicks are. Emotion of 1. Emotion, Paris Gondo would tell us that that's the most important of them all. That's the value that will determine whether or not you will be fulfilled for the rest of your life. While 1 in emotion is something mass-produced, easy to replace, or it's ugly, or it's associated with someone infamous, or just boring, like a politician with an MBA. 3 in emotion, something cute would be a bit difficult to replace or that you attach to. Maybe it belongs to a minor celebrity. 6 in usefulness. Well, not only it's an object that not usefulness, sorry, emotion. Very rare, beautiful, legendary, probably associated with someone beloved. Like a D20 that was rolled on a fateful Thursday by Matthew Mercer. That would be 6 in usefulness. Whatever explanation you come up with, if you pass the object, the value won't change. So, for instance, this stone that reminds me of my mother, I could say it's got an emotional value of 3. So, because, it reminds me of my mother, Martha. If Tog, you were to take possession of that stone that reminds me of my mother, Martha, you would have to come up with an explanation. Why is this stone that reminds me of my mother, Martha, worth 3 emotion for you as well? You could say it's because your mother's name is also Martha. This joke is getting old. It was fresh for you.
Dog's mom is also Martha. No, not different Martha. You're Martha. Dog's
Oh,
mother
you
is now
shut up, name!
Dog's mother is now your
Brother!
Martha. It took your mother. Took your mother. She's not my mother. I stole your mother.
All right. So with that, you are invited. Okay, great. Safira already did the job. We are running a bit behind with Tug and.
Spell amplifier.
I'm trying to get creative. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's not a criticism. It was more a praise of Safira's proactiveness.
You should get that. Yeah, I'm just going to call amp because I don't want to.
So one thing I tell people, so as part of my pitch, is that the high replayability of this game, I played it probably 60 times by now. I'm lucky it's replayable. Although, to be honest, I'm a bit stretching it. I've been playing it an awful number of times. Okay, an object for a barbarian and necromancer. Encumbrance. Oh no. I'm confused also because the Italian crew should change the orders of icon on that. Keep mentioning my Italian crews because the Kickstarter is happening in partnership with Grumpy Bear, who is an Italian publisher. They publish the Italian versions of games like Bands of Blades, what's this one? Blades in the Dark, Euronymous, and a bunch of other things. And they're enabling this game to they will be much better, done at large scale with the manufacturer and so on. So it should be much more awesome than if I did it on my own. But they changed the order of the icons, and now I'm confused.
I have to tell you, Kalum,
Yes.
that I just read the description in 6 for encumbrance. Two halves of a plastinated
Thank you, Luna, for the
cow
gifted
is
subs.
Chef's kiss.
Thank you very much. I'm quite proud of number 4 in encumbrance. A 1999 James Bond complete DVD box set.
Nice.
Oh my god, yes.
Where is... And congrats to all those who got those gifted subs. Thanks again to Luna.
I like the shinies that pop up when I gift.
It does have great feedback. And all those who got those gifted subs, you now have really cool, basically, Lorelink, basically, Lorelink emotes, which you can now use in the chat. I'm trying to do 2 things at once, and it's working great. Trust me. Twitch activity feed. That's the thing I'm looking for. I don't know why the Twitch activity feed had gotten detached, but it did. How did you? Cool, let's just go live there now. That's fine.
If you want to regroup something that would have broken down, you can select them and hit Control G, and there will be groups again.
Okay. What for to sell? Go. What's the music?
Necromancer. It's very useful. My mind is blanking now. Someone mentioned it earlier. I should absolutely remember what the name of this thing is. What? Oh, bag of holding. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I didn't dwell too much on the theme of the dungeon, to be honest.
I've got a little bit in there. Oh, I need to reattach stuff. Okay. I think is this still attached? Let's see. That's still attached. Great. That works wonderful. It also has a weird trail because I created a random line. Okay. I've got those 2 items done. There's a hype chest. We could open a hype chest. Congrats to all those who got the hype chest. Spill the tea. I got the spill the tea emote.
Not gonna lie, that's one of my favorite hype train emotes.
I'm not aware of that new Twitch feature. And by I say new, I wasn't around for at least a year, so.
It's a brand new.
It's older than a year, but you know, no judgment. Twitch does a lot.
Twitch does a lot, including things they maybe shouldn't. Hey Twitch, hey TwitchCon, how's it going?
The fewer I know, the better. About any business I engage with at this point. Everybody's done?
I think I'm done.
Okay, so I will go first. So behind the the room where we managed to dispatch the gatekeeper by having a gargoyle fell on his head, I find my Dr. Caligaro frantically goes towards a door at the back, very excited to find the famed laboratory of the old scientist guardian / sage, only to find out, disappointingly, that behind that door lies this person laundry room. How do you call the room where you put the washing machine and all of that?
Yeah, laundry room.
Yeah, laundry room.
Laundry room. And in there, hanging, drying, Dr. Caligaro finds... Oh, no, wait. Wrong object. Dr. Caligaro...
I don't know, finding a coffin in the finding a coffin in the laundry room is even funnier.
Dr. Caligaro find... Hush you. Dr. Caligaro find a Skull Team Barbarian set of PGs. This pyjama was handsewn by none other than the Barbarian matriarch, Marta. These are easy to carry around. They are comfy, comfortable, practical, even outside a yurt's bedroom. And their affiliation is Barbarian.
Very interesting.
Osmodius, tell us, what is the second object you found, and where did you find it after dispatching the ruler of the dungeon? Please take your account to the middle.
Okay. Randomly, in the corner of the dungeon, there was this bow and quiver just hanging on the wall. Sort of like someone was like, well, I don't really need these, but I don't want to get rid of them, so I'll just hang them on the wall to display them.
All right.
And it's mundane. It doesn't seem to have any powers, but it does have a set of initials in it, and weirdly, each different person who reads the initials sees different initials.
Yeah. Okay, that sparks joy. All right, Zafira, tell us about the first object that your rogue found somewhere lying around this old guardian scientist steampunk lair.
So as Saphira jumps down from the rafters now that the gargoyle has fallen and smushed the gatekeeper, and she's got this whole uh-oh thing. She like anime jumps down, right? Lands like a ninja, and notices that there's this one particular giant rock that has also fallen down. And it looks like there's something special about it. And with further investigation realizes, thank you for whoever just pulled that up to the middle, because I totally forgot. Realizes that this is the giant rock of Smoosh, legendary barbarian. Smoosh's adventures and activities, they're told in barbarian lore and legend. So he's kind of like the Indiana Jones or the James Bond of barbarians. It is a rock. It is very heavy. Beats scissors, weak to paper.
That's my joy. So Smoosh is a legendary figure. Smoosh is not an action.
Correct.
I mean,
It's both. It's both.
It's both.
Well, yeah.
Smoosh did smoosh.
Smoosh is named after his favorite thing to do, which was also his father's favorite thing to do and his grandfather's favorite thing to do.
Very, very, very,
This
very
might-
proud
this
tradition
might-
in family. Passed down from smoosh to smoosh. That they're all named Smoosh.
Cannot help to think that with some nearby tribes, it might have led to some confusion, like thinking that smooshing might have meant, spelled slightly differently. Smooshing could mean a different set of actions.
Well, there was also the nearby tribe named Splat, who they're always at war with.
That is very true. And to be fair, barbarians are usually pretty confused in general about many things.
Think his grandmother of Smoosh was Mimi the Smoocher.
Maybe the Smoosher.
Now canon, yes.
All right. Tog the Hordian, speaking of barbarian, tell us about the first object.
I'll go with this one as my first one because Dog also got a rock. It was a rock that, for some reason, made Oz very happy. Dog doesn't understand, but Oz gave rock very funny name, Amp, something like amplifier. Dog basically, but Oz was very excited about this Amp rock. It makes for a nice hammer. You hit things with it. Very heavy, very compact. Occasionally makes weird noises, but Dog has rock named Amp. We don't know why we named rock, but apparently where Oz is from, we name rocks.
I think Dr. Caligaro will have a closer look and say, "Behold, look here." It turns out that rock, the Tog, has got kind of a knob on it, and there's some inscribings around that knob. And Dr. Caligaro points at it, saying, "Look, it goes to 11."
Oh, it goes to 2 1s? Very exciting.
Tog, tell us about the second object you found, and we go back clockwise.
Okay. Dog also found another object that made Oz happy, but also made Dog happy. These were these huge plates that were mounted on the wall. They had funny dents in them that Oz says is sheet music. Then Oz played the sheet music and made music. First music Dog ever heard. Everyone else started getting weepy and cryy and things like that, claiming it tells the entire sad history of the Sunken Citadel. It summons them to it and forces deep emotions in whoever hears it. Dog just think it's fun music.
All right, but with 6 in encumbrance, that
They are good gold, full gold showing sheets. And he just picked them up off the wall and took them. He's like, you take these now. They're ours.
All right, Saphira, what's your second object?
All right, my second object, which I am going to remember to bring up here this time, is the mysterious orb or wizard. It requires some pondering, but has swirly pink, purple clouds and sparkles. Might just be a snow globe, but who knows? Saphira obtained this by, after ninja jumping down to the ground, immediately rifling through the gatekeeper's pockets, because, of course, what else do you do in the fantasy world when a bad guy gets murked right in front of you? You loot the body. And found this tucked away in his pockets and kind of looked at it because it was shiny and tried to like bite it or chew on it a little bit, but it didn't taste very good. So she just kind of is like, it's pretty.
I think seeing that Dr. Caligaro will just go off into a maniacal, evil-sounding laughter, and screaming, "I found it!" before transitioning into sobs, and he just curls up in a ball in a corner, saying, "I found it, the mysterious orb, finally!"
Ooh.
But won't engage with you quite yet about
Oh dear.
Orb made Doctor sad. We smash Orb?
Osmodius, tell us about your second object, please.
The second object that Osmodius found was collecting dust in a corner. It appears to be a used iron phylactery. It's really heavy. It seems heavier than its size even, but it's in the shape of a beloved, square-shaped cartoon character.
Okay.
It resembles this cartoon character, but it doesn't seem to contain any powers any longer.
All right. Is it a sponge-like character?
Yeah, it kind of looks like a sponge, yeah.
All right. Well, I hope we'll get to the bikini bottom of what that might be. Finally, the last object found. There was a little bit of spoiler earlier. Neatly pushed in some kind of closet, Dr. Caligaro finds the Halfling coffin of holding. So the Halfling coffin of holding, we're talking a Halfling-sized coffin, which is not super huge, but still a bit annoying to carry around. This coffin was created by an infamous character, Bilbon Bezos, who had big hoarding issues, like to be surrounded by objects, and would exploit other people's need to hoard objects or have them shipped around the fantasy land, while exploiting poor workers. But Bilbon Bezos was really keen to be buried with all his belongings, which is why he had this halfling coffin of holding conceived. So, long story short, you open the coffin and you can throw a bag of holding, whatever you want, you can throw it in the little coffin, which is quite easy. You just need to be careful when you pull an object out of the coffin, not to pull out the corpse of the rotting corpse of Gilbon Bezos. But highly useful if somewhat encumbering. All right. Does anyone's got any question or remarks about another player's object?
So basically the big question I would have is, with the rock, did we leave basically? Is that basically in the room where we basically that really cool rock? Is that in the room, or did that get basically is that getting dragged behind?
Oh, we're gonna find out. I
Okay,
mean, maybe
okay.
you decide to leave it there. It's what we'll find out as part of step 4, the life-saving magic of adventuring.
Okay.
Trade and amicable exchanges shape the final key to our emotional ties with our belongings. With this key in hand, all you have left to do is to look at each item one at a time and decide whether to keep it or not. Does it spark joy? If your answer is no, then equip it. So I mentioned at the beginning of the game, or not quite the beginning, when we picked our character classes, that we could carry more or less. So in my case, and you can check your own cards, there's a little icon in the shape of a strong arm, I guess. For me, it's 12. That's my maximum encumbrance. For barbarian, it's 16, and for our rogue and bard, it's 14. So quite simply, you cannot carry more than that value. So when you make the addition, and what sparks more joy than math when you're dungeon crawling, you've got an encumbrance of all your objects. When you make the total of all of that, it cannot exceed your maximum encumbrance. Actually, ideally, it should even be lower than your maximum encumbrance, because what really matters, if you look at your card, your character card, so there's the 12 with the little biceps, then you've got the total encumbrance of your inventory, which you will type by making the sum of all the objects you kept, and finally you're gonna end up with your encumbrance factor, and this encumbrance, so that's will be, so it's maximum encumbrance minus total encumbrance equal encumbrance factor, and encumbrance factor will be a bonus on a saving throw against lethal hoarding. You will be more or less likely to find your way home based on how much you are trying to carry. So that's the encumbrance. Now, how to decide what to keep, what to throw away? Of course, there's the usefulness, and remember that the usefulness of affiliated object is to your character class is doubled. The usefulness will work out together what's the average usefulness for the group, and the usefulness will be used for the whole group together to trying to find the exit of the dungeon. So it's in everybody's interest, if we meta play, to maximize usefulness across the group. So you can be cheeky and sort of be coy about sharing an object that would match another characters, but ideally, it would be nice to trade accordingly. And finally, the emotion, again, and usefulness, you got a little wrench where you can put that on your adventurer card. And finally, the little spark is for emotion. You make the total of all your emotion, and the more emotion you have, the more likely at the very end of our adventure to feel fulfilled for the rest of your days. And what can you do? You can get rid of objects, so don't delete them. If you get rid of an object, put it on the board in the middle, and again, the more you roleplay, the better. So quite simply, if in my case, I don't know, for the moment, I'm going to keep the PJs of barbarians. So Dr. Caligaro is going to throw away his lab coat and put it in the middle of the room. So it's here on the board, and anyone can pick up my lab coat if they want. So you can get rid of things this way. You can gift things to other players. You can try to trade things. You can try to beg another player to give them something they have that you would like to have. And you work out this way. You change your final inventory. Does that make sense?
Yep, that makes sense to me. So, I mean, Thog will look at Amp Rock and we'll look at Smoosh Rock and be like, rocks are different. Want to trade rocks? Your rock. Basically, your rock used by Smoosh. It says Smoosh right there, written in crayon on side. You can have this one. It says, and here's where my knowledge fails. What's a famous amp producer?
Vox or is it
Vox?
Marshall?
Oh God.
Like, there's got to be like somebody who makes it. Somebody in the chat knows what a famous somebody's produced famous amps. But in any case, like it says right here. Basically.
Yeah, Vox or JBL.
Okay, Vox
Marshall.
right there. Basically, it's VOX. X, very powerful letter. Make this very powerful thing. It says amp. Trade rock.
Saphira kind of circles around the amp rock and sniffs it a little bit, knocks on the top of it, again tries to nibble on the side of it, makes a face and
Already
says,
tried to eat, not tasty. There's bite marks on another quarter where Dog has obviously attempted to bite already.
So Saphira, she kind of nods in agreement and she's like, well, I don't think it's for me, but, and she like reaches down and tries to pick up the giant rock of Smoosh and is kind of straining a little bit. She says, I'll tell you what, buddy, you can just have this if you want it.
Oh, I can have other rock? I can have 2 rock? Oh.
Yeah, buddy, but can you come over here and get it? It's kind of heavy.
The dog just comes over, picks up rock, and Saphira attached to rock. Oh, you attached to rock.
Saphira lets go and drops back down to the floor and then like jumps on top of some other like level of the stones or something, so she's not actually standing on the floor. It says, the floor is lava.
Floor, lava, it's okay. Dog no fear lava. Lava just hot rock.
So Dr. Caligaro was waiting next to you, Saphira, with trepidation, handing you the coffin of Odin, and Dr. Caligaro explained to you, I need the mysterious orb. It calls to me. I've got this thing which I think would be of use for your profession, and once belonged to one of the most proficient robbers of all, a white-collar robber. Would you care to trade this coffin for this mysterious orb?
Ooh, Saphira like again walks around the coffin, knocks on the lid, kind of pushes the lid over, climbs inside the coffin, and then like suddenly jumps out and goes, surprise!
You're not dead! You were in coffin, that means you dead. But now you out of coffin, that means you not dead. Undead?
Are you emerging out with Bill Bombezo's Bernie style? Weekend of Bernie style.
Yes, actually, I could see that. I could see her popping out, and like the arm of Bilbon Bezos is like around her shoulder, and they're both like buddies. You know what I mean? And she's like, I think this is a very good coffin of holding, and I am happy to trade for your orb.
How deep coffin go?
Everything is falling
people?
into my plans.
Yay.
Osmodius, what are you up to?
Osmodius's player is completely distracted by the humor that is occurring. Oz wanders over to Thog and says, "Hey, buddy.
You called me buddy. Yay!
Yeah, we're buddies.
Dog forgot.
Would you have any use for this cool cartoon character thing? It's really cute. And it's heavy, and I know you like heavy things. And I would really like to trade for that gold sheet music.
Oh, trade. Right. That is when I get something, you give something. Or was it other way around?
Well, it means that we give each other something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's great. That looked like that looked very heavy. You should probably put that down and carry definitely lighter thing, like gold sheet music. Totally lighter.
By the way, that phylactery was supposed to have a number in the emotion column, and it's gone.
Do you remember what number it was?
It was a 3.
We still got it. No, hang on. I know what happened. Give me a sec.
Okay, it's
There you
hiding.
go. Yeah, it was just behind.
So,
I mean, yeah, I don't know that it's a lot lighter, buddy, but I would definitely take the gold sheet music off your hands.
Okay,
If you
okay.
want this phylactery.
is that good trade? Is that even trade, or do you want this wine? Do you want your wine gourd? Do you want this wine gourd thing? It's filled with weird wine.
No, I don't.
He's offering you your wine gourd back, by the way.
Sir?
She's like, this is weird. It smells funny. Make dog dizzy.
Oh, I bet it did. Yeah, you know what? You should absolutely give me that as well with the gold sheet music.
Oh, okay. You should have that as well then. You could have
Great.
you could have the dizzy juice.
Yeah, I'll take the dizzy juice. You don't have to ever be dizzy off of it again.
Very bad.
Yeah.
Started spinning
Thank you.
room. Very awkward.
Yeah, it's an uncomfortable experience, isn't it?
Also, dog put down other rock because dog have rock now. So other rock over there now if you want other rock. No reason to have two rocks. Even if cool rock named Amp.
It's okay.
Yeah,
I'm happy. Thank you.
With much hesitation, Dr. Caligaro finally is abandoning the 1992 Mac Pro bricked in the middle of the room. Yeah, it's like, now that I got the orb, I should be able to uncover the mystery of the universe without my precious Mac Pro.
Here's the question though. Does the Mac Pro turn basically does the Apple light up? Because that's what's going to be important to Thog.
I'd say yes, because that's why it's worth 4 in emotion to talk. It's because the apple still lights up.
Oh, that's you put down the apple, the lit apple thing, which dog had want lit apple. The dog tried to figure out how to.
I have a question.
Yep.
Since one of my cards is gourmet rations, can I just eat them?
I mean, you can have a bite of them, but I would say you put them in the middle of the room if someone wants to pick them up for some reason.
All right.
Or pick up the wrapping with the crumbs in it, if you're so inclined.
I mean, they could get the really nice bento box.
So what I recommend is to make kind of 2 columns with your objects. Put on one side the ones that affiliated to you, so you make sure that you double their usefulness, and on the other side the objects you might have which are not affiliated to you. By the way, some of your starting inventory is affiliated, while some are just not affiliated to any class. Like, yes, the fabulous attire or the gourmet rations in the case of the bar.
Hey, Patchwork Fez. Yep, this is great so far.
A patchwork fez.
A patch-
That's a username. I was like, did somebody get a patchwork fez in their loot?
No, we had someone jump in this game. Basically say this was looking good.
Hello,
a great
Patchwork
username.
Fez. A fellow, any nominated or any winner
Ooh.
for Patchwork Fez? Remind me the title of your system, like the mysteries. It's called Into the Dale something. Yeah, Patchwork Fez. She is from our little game.
Nominated Darkened Hill and Dale. That sounds cool.
Yeah.
Memory is hard. Yes. Yeah, Kalum is running this after having a long day, and so we appreciate Kalum basically sorting whatever they can, because memory right now may not be sparking joy. Okay. Dog have lots of stuff. The dog has
Got a
important things.
So feel free to pick up stuff in the middle of the room if you want.
What does dog put
So
down?
we've got a fabulous attire. We've got a lab coat. Yeah. So I realized that Osmodius, you're welcome to treat that as you will, but it looks like you're hanging around naked or in your underwear, hiding behind gold sheets of music.
We're not hiding. I mean, we're just wearing our underwear. We got rid of our attire.
So I've heard there are two really despicable lies about these games that I've heard around. The first lie I've heard is that I designed the game so that adventurers end up naked most of the time. That's a horrible lie. And the second lie is that allegedly I make this joke every time I run the game.
Allegedly.
Wow. All right. This guy, yeah, the problem is Doggett's looking at the close-fitting loincloth and it's like, No one wants to see Dog get rid of the close-fitting loincloth.
There's a fabulous attire here, some vintage jeans which are worth 3 in emotion. I mean,
they've got those cool patches on them. You do after they rip out. You grab some cool fabric and stick them in there. But basically, Dog doesn't need 2 skulls, so he's going to leap behind the souvenir skull mug. Like, it was really cool when he picked it up in the room with all those things that were basically somebody drank some stuff and like started choking, and everyone got really excited about somebody choking, and then they got better. But basically, then there were some other things that they drank which were fine, but somebody said poison, but Dog didn't taste poison, just tasted funny.
So yeah, I recommend starting to populate your adventure card with your little totals, and even when you've done that, that might give you some clues about changes you still might want to make. Like, I should really consider being less useful and more emotional on my side, because I got a 27 in emotion, which is a bit ridiculous.
You have some very deep attachment.
Usefulness, not emotion. Emotion is 6, actually, so it's quite bad. I should get something emotional.
Trade usefulness for emotion. I didn't come here for therapy today.
You know what? I'm gonna take this souvenir skull mug. I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna.
It's a very good mug.
I'm gonna get rid of my jumping pole brackets. Don't ask.
Saphira is going to wander up to the middle of the room and start pulling out of one of her pockets, like that old clown trick, an excessively long rope, and just keeps pulling it, and it keeps coming, and keeps coming, and keeps coming. And then finally, after what seems like an extremely long amount of time, the whole thing is on the big trading rock in the middle of the room. And she looks over at the bow and quiver and looks at everyone with these big sparkling eyes and says, "Please, can I have this one?"
I mean, I put it in there, so I have no claim to it anymore. Go for it.
And all of a sudden she's like, "Dibs!" like with a much deeper voice, and just like snatches it and then like scampers off back to one of the far corners of the room to admire it.
No shoot dog this time.
You can't prove it was me last time either. Ignore the fact that my name was carved on the bowl. Anyone could have gotten a hold of that.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Gotta watch out for thieves who steal arrows and write people's names on them and then shoot them at people. Very organized conspiracy theory. Dog has heard of this.
All right. Okay, Tug, what's your total?
The dog's totals are way too high. He's got a rock he likes. He's got a phylactery, which was a trade, which is very important. But but he's also got this great axe, and he's considering ditching the great axe because he could just punch things, right? He's not emotionally attached to the great axe. Oop, that 4 just disappeared.
No, it was made larger for some reason.
Yep.
I'm just gonna populate your adventure card for you. So 5, 6, 8.
We're ditching the.
Oh, you're
great
ditching
axe.
the great axe. Okay.
Because he's got too many things. He's got a rock. He doesn't need a great axe. He's got a rock. What more do you need to hit people with?
I mean,
The Rock of Swoosh.
Yeah, it is the rock of smoosh.
Yeah, it's true. The giant rock of Smoosh it's delivering. So 6, 12, 12 plus 3, so that's 15 usefulness currently for Tug. The total encumbrance is 11, 13, 14, 17. Ooh, you still have too much?
He's
3,
over
8.
by
No,
one,
sorry.
and he's got
No.
one thing in his inventory, which it costs 1.
No, I miscounted.
Oh,
I
okay.
miscounted. It's just like I'm gonna do this. Okay, so it's 6, 8, 9. No, it's just 9.
Oh, just 9.
So
Oh,
you
wow,
got-
Doug can still carry
You
these.
got a plus 7 to your saving throw against lethal hoarding, and in terms of emotion, you got 9. So yeah, you might want to get more stuff or not. It depends if you are scared of falling victim of a lethal horde.
Dog not scared. Dog not certain what meaning of word scared is. Dog 8.
Oh wow, Osmodius going hard on the emotion. All right, well, you tell me if you're satisfied with what you have.
Before everyone concludes trading, Saphira is going to scuttle back to the middle of the room and drawn by the smell of the gourmet rations, and just kind of her eyes light up again, and she's like, "Finally, something that actually tastes good to eat," and drops her old, suspiciously stained leather armor off and scampers back with the lunchbox, the gourmet rations, and says, "Y'all can share if you want."
Are both our characters now in their undies?
Probably. Although, I don't know. It's unclear whether it's the armor that she was already wearing or if it was just a spare set of armor that she, like, ripped off of someone's body after doing rogue things.
Well, you would have gotten rid of your old armor if you ripped it off from another character. That's the starting inventory is what you have before you face the ruler, if you will.
Okay.
It's whatever you add on your person. So these might be things you've been carrying all along, and you're very attached to them because of that, or they can be things that you found along the course of our little adventure in the Cyclopean Citadel, which is submerged, and that was totally meant to be, and was ruled over by an old guardian.
Okay. Well, in that case, then I'm gonna say it's like an outer level of armor, but there's still like the black bodysuit underneath. So not completely in the underwear, but definitely no longer restricted by the tyranny of perhaps like a leather corset and vest, so she can like just scarf down all the gourmet rations. Nom 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 nom.
All right. Everybody happy?
Dog will, of course, basically the lure of the glowing apple will finally win over Dog, and Dog will wander over and be like, steal the glowing apple. I will have the glowing apple of the wizard. Dog's apple. And basically, someone already bit Apple, though. Who stole bite out of Dog's apple? Poking at the Apple logo. Very concerned.
Tempted by an alluring apple. How could that go wrong?
How could
ever?
possibly go wrong? If I fail the roll by 3, basically by 4, we'll find out.
All right. Everybody happy?
Dog is always happy. Unless he's not happy.
Saphira, Osmodius, you're happy with the pile of objects lying in the middle of the room and what you decided to bring home?
Luna says that they're happy, but they're eating a cookie, so they can't talk.
Oz is as happy as Oz is gonna get.
Oops.
You're leaving Big Amp
we're
Rock
trying to
behind.
It's
All
a
right.
choice.
So,
Everybody should
Saphira,
have Big Rock.
we had a big adventure together. You got rid through with the big smoosh rock of the old guardian, and you parted from some object you might have been attached to, or at least been carrying for a long time, and acquired new ones. All of that is quite a transformative experience. Tell us, Saphira, what's your new? Yeah, here's the vibe check. What's your new vibe?
My new vibe is realizing that I totally added everything up wrong. Because I missed a card, and this is math, which, as everyone who works with me will tell you, is not my strong point. So, Saphira humbly requests that you go to someone else while she unfucks that.
Okay. Saphira should put on one side everything which is rogue and everything that is not, so Saphira can.
Yes.
So
Saphira should stop being a dumbass. Yes.
Okay. In that case, Osmodius, do you have a new gig, a new act? What's your current era?
Oh, well. Osmodius's new era is going to be setting up the gold sheet music on display and then playing the gold sheet music for the crowd.
That's your ambition. That's your ambition.
Yeah.
We'll see if that works out. We still need to go out of the dungeon.
Oh, I see. Well, that's the plan.
They're going on tour.
So, the new era. We're going on the new era tour.
Have your sparks joy rock and like it.
Yeah, and you're in your underwear. You got rid of your fabulous attire. You didn't part with many objects, but now you are a walking gold sheet of music. You're wrapped up in it somehow, I guess.
Yeah, we're gonna let the music be the draw. We figure we can find another pair of vintage jeans somewhere else, and apparently it's now the royal we. I don't know.
I mean, you've got gold sheet music. You kind of feel like royalty.
All right. Dr. Caligaro traded his lab coat for a barbarian set of pajamas, which he finds quite fitting and very sturdy, great to use. He seems quite oblivious about any jealousy he might inspire to Tug. And these did belong to, well, not only belong, they were hand-sewn by the barbarian matriarch Marta. He also, actually, he's going for a sort of a barbarian vibe, double-checking on things, because Dr. Caligaro also picked up the souvenir skull mug that you've been carrying for a while, Tug. He apparently recognized the skull that was used for this mug and identified it as being the one of his former assistants, Al Normal. And beyond that, yeah, he's lovingly carrying close to his chest the mysterious orb that used to be on the chest of the guardian that ruled over this submerged citadel. So we'll see if it goes well for Dr. Caligaro. Hopefully, less smooshing involved than for the previous ruler of the dungeon. Tog,
Uh,
what Tog did it change you, this experience? Did you learn a lot along the way?
Basically, Tog has learned. Basically, Tog is incredibly happy because he is seeing his friends, his buddies, start to move into their barbarian era. Like basically, like the doctor is basically wearing barbarian PJs and is carrying barbarian skull. Basically, both Oz and Saphira have abandoned that restrictive clothing and are now feeling the ways of the breeze and the air. Basically giving up their things. They're adopting the way of the barbarian and letting go of things that would encumber them. And he has got the rock of smoosh, and he realizes he needs to spread this word to others, so all others can learn of the joy of being barbarian. Basically, that may involve having to apply Rock of Smoosh to forehead until point is gotten across. But that's what Rock of Smoosh is for educating people in basically in the tragic, the deep and rich history of the barbarian with the rocks, basically the Smoosh rock. Basically, and so he's got that. He's left the way of the axe behind. The glowing apple will be his light going forward, and he will show people the way of the Rock of Smoosh.
I imagine there's uh, with the smoosh, you might apply a show don't tell approach to explaining what smoosh is like. So someone is like, "So what smoosh?" Smoosh.
Swoosh. He may have some pictures drawn on it, so he could basically like really embed them directly into the people, like, or maybe basically like tattoo them. It's like a big tattooing rock. You hit somebody with it hard enough, they now have a thing embedded in them.
All right. And finally, Saphira, which I'm sure worked out the math by now. Saphira, what's your new deal? Still in the roguing business, or are you considering a change of profession?
Saphira is definitely still in the roguing business if the aspect of the roguing business that you are referencing is picking up all of the shinies. And keeping the things that spark the most joy. As a result, and also because Saphira cannot do math, Saphira is actually ending the thing with -2 encumbrance. So oh well, but at least she is very useful and also very happy. The way that I would like to explain the 2 points over is that she did not heed the warnings that she could not eat all of the gourmet rations and have those make 0 points. So she just keeps basically trying to eat everything out of the bento box, but it's magically filling back up. It's like a never-ending box, and she's just getting more and more bloated and full and kind of like, and she's trying to climb up on the walls at this point, and she's just like falling back and laying on her back like, I don't feel so good, you guys.
Oh.
Look, I'm gonna be
all of those meats and cheeses. She isn't gonna feel good for a while.
My big toe's never gonna be the same.
Look, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to put my foot down here because some people might say if you're having fun, you're doing it right, but role-playing games are a serious business, and I cannot allow just meddling with the rules I lovingly have crafted. So I think you will have to get rid of an object worth 2 or more encumbrance.
Oh no.
Okay. If that's the
just
case,
cannot be at 16. That's
okay.
Wild nonsense.
Well, I mean, now the hilarious
joke of this system.
The hilarious thing is, though, this is how I play all of these RPGs, like Fallout, and I'm just.
Are you one of those?
across
I
the
get it.
wasteland.
Trade like rules of cool. All right.
So I'm going to go ahead. If you are going to be benevolent GM, and I apologize again for completely blanking on the fact that I had another card hidden elsewhere. Then I am going to finally just with my foot kind of nudge the lunchbox away. and just drop it back in the center of the room and be like,
Dog
do not
staging,
recommend.
Dog staging intervention.
Yes. So thank you. I will.
Osmodius will look at her and be like, I didn't know it did that. Are you okay?
Saphira kind of burps and retches a little bit, but then like pulls it back at the last minute, and she's like, "Just give me a minute, guys. I'll be right there."
Right. All right. Well, with that,
Dangerous lunchbox hit with box.
I think it's time for step 5, the journey home. From Paris Gondo's introspection of the art of inventorying and vast experience mentoring adventurers, there is one thing Paris can tell us with confidence. A dramatic unpacking of your equipment causes correspondingly dramatic changes in your perspective on life and survival chances. It is truly life-saving. So, the first thing we have to do is see if we get out of the dungeon with the random encounters roll. So something I should have done earlier, but I'm going to do right now is work out what's our average usefulness. So I got 23. We've got 9 for Osmodius. Saphira, your usefulness is 15. Nice. And then we've got 15 usefulness again for Tog. That's a total. Saphira, help me since you're good with math.
I'm doubting that it's 15. It might actually only be 4. Oh God, I am so sorry.
What?
The thief keeps pulling things in and out of the bag of holding as they keep going, and they keep getting encumbered and then unencumbered when they put it back, and they're trying to figure it out.
Y'all, Dyscalculia is a mean ass bitch. Let me tell you that.
I got you.
Thank you.
Yep.
So
I usually have my partner do all of the math for me, or like ask the GM to calculate my rolls for me because I'm so bad.
What just changed?
Usefulness. She's 12.
12. So it doesn't change anything.
I think
60 divided by
2
4.
of them are rogue specific, the second favorite dagger and the favorite dagger, so that's
right.
double usefulness.
Oh, so 2.
I told you to make columns with them.
14.
I even
14.
moved them for you.
I did make columns, but then I moved the columns back because I was doing something else. It was 14, you said? 20?
14, yes.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate you.
It doesn't change anything. I think 29, 38, 61. 65 divided by 4, rounded down, it's still 15. So, we've got an average usefulness of 15. We each gonna roll a d20, and we need to roll 15 or under. If you do, that counts as 1 success. It's like a I don't know, I remember what they were called, but D&D 4th edition skill test group, whatever. But yeah, long story short, let's start with Osmodius. Do you have a d20 within reach?
Yes, I do. Here we go.
All right.
I rolled a 7.
7, that's a success. Remember, you rolled a success. Saphira, roll a d20 and tell us what's your...
Now, I usually roll like garbage, so knowing my luck, I'll get a natural 20. Nope. It's a 9.
9, success.
Hey,
Mark?
I did die.
All right, up
Todd?
to me. A 1, unnatural 1.
All right, that's a
Whoa!
success. And I rolled a 3, which is a success. So we all gonna do exactly the same thing. Tug. On the way, so we left the room where there was this guardian, and we making our way towards the exit of the dungeon. So we walking through this submerged citadel, which was absolutely intended to be submerged, and we might run into minions or traps that we failed to, dismantle on our way. And but so as we are heading towards the exit, which is still quite far, we run into something that put the whole group in danger. But thankfully, and think I got an idea of what you're gonna use. But thankfully, you saved the whole group from this horrible danger thanks to one of your objects. What was this horrible danger, and how did you save us with one of your objects?
Well, basically, as we are exiting, basically, we start to be approached by this machine, which starts laying out minions in front of us. It lays down 1, and then a set of 2, and then a set of 3, and then a set of 4. Basically, and then a set of 5. And Dog kind of stares at this very intently and looks at the rock in his hands and looks at these minions advancing towards them in these nice, evenly spaced ranks. And basically down this narrow hallway and goes, huh, Dog, strike these. And grabs his rock, basically grabs his rocks and rolls it down the hallway and smashes through 1, 2, 3, but manages to leave 2 behind. Basically, the 7 and the 11. But then luckily, Dog just walk up and smashes them together, and basically they fall down. And Dog is like, hate splits.
Sounds a bit heretical, I would say, because I heard a lot of smashing, but where I expected smooshing.
Smooshing. Yes, they do. Basically, he is confused. It does need to be a smooshing sound. Rock may be broken, and so he then spends the rest of the time trying to fix Rock. Rock is making smashing and not smooshing, and basically very confusing. And so he is taking small hammer and chisel he has brought with him for fixing rocks, and is attempting to fix the rock the rest of the way out.
All right, so continuing our way through the dungeon, we run into kind of a nursery with very overexcited children that are jumping around and screaming. Some of them are crying, laughing, pulling their hairs, and so on. And Dr. Caligaro is going to use his mysterious orb to hypnotize them. But what really makes the difference is that thanks to his skull team barbarian pages, it convinces the children that it's time to have a pajama party, which, get them excited for a while, but manage to settle down and quiet down and go to sleep. Letting us tiptoe outside of that large place to go closer to the exit. Osmodius, yet when we exited this place where children were fast asleep, hushing each other's to make sure not to wake them up, Osmodius,
we ran testing his rock to see if it smooshes on children.
We ran into something horribly dangerous. But thankfully, Osmodius, you saved us all with one of your objects. What was this terrible peril you saved us from, and how did you do so? Not hear you.
Hold on, I was
thinking.
laughing. Hold on, I have to look up something really quick.
This is research involved.
Good when there's evidence to back it up. I like.
While Osmodius is thinking, I will point out that we've been followed by Osmodius' donkey all the whole time. That donkey's been awfully
Billy the donkey.
That donkey been here the entire time? Dog forgot.
Oh, I see some typing.
Yes, I finally figured out what to put here.
Dog is repairing rock, trying to cover up rough edges that do smash instead of smoosh.
Oh, we're entering the adult after dark segment of our stream with that last minute update to one of the objects.
So I will basically, as we take a paper, we did pop up in the chat. But if you are interested in what we're doing here, it is basically coming to Kickstarter here soon. So check out that link that just went by in the chat, and you can basically sign up to be notified when that Kickstarter goes live, and it will basically pop right into your inbox, and you can purchase this for yourself. And
Just gonna check my Kickstarter page right now to see the thousands of people who joined since we started. Yes, one person,
Okay,
probably one of
so-
us.
We encountered a hag who was hell bent on forcing two of our parties to fall in love with one another.
All right,
Because
shipping,
it
the
tur-
shipping hag.
Yes, because it turns out she's a massive fan of E.L. James.
Mhm.
But what she didn't know is that Oz has in his bag a lost love letter between the 50 Shades of Grey main characters from one of them to the other. And Oz must have rolled high on charisma this time because he convinced her to leave us alone in return for this lost piece of 50 Shades lore that
Nice.
he had in his bag.
Great. And finally, Saphira, not only you save us from a big peril with one of your objects, but you lead us to the very door, the very exit of the dungeon. What is this last dangerous thing standing between us and that door, and how did you manage to get us through?
So, hear me out.
Uh-huh.
As we approach the door,
Uh-huh.
suddenly a new adventurer pops in to frame, but this is an evil adventurer. Like he's like a highwayman type adventurer who just stumbled across like the door to the submerged citadel. Don't ask questions. This is fantasy. We're just gonna rule of cool it, okay? So this soul highwayman has like made it here, and he's got like big pistols, and he's like, "All right, mate, we're gonna hand over all of our stuff now, aren't we? And no fight, no struggle." And I'm married to a British guy. I'm allowed to do that horrible
So
accent.
it was Australian.
Noted for future.
All right, mate.
Hey, at least it was something. At least it was actually something this time. Usually, it's just what the hell was that. So
But first, feel free to comment in the chat room if this accent is more Yorkshire or
Yeah.
Canberra.
no, I said too many consonants for it to be Yorkshire. Anyway, he like highwayman, he's gonna hold us up. He's gonna steal all our stuff. And Saphira says, "All right, friend, but just do me one favor," and pulls out the bow and quiver with the initials that read differently for each person who reads them, and says, "Could you tell me what you see written here?" And the highwayman, he's kind of like annoyed, but he's like, "All right, whatever, I'll play along." And he looks at it and he says, "DN?" And Saphira says, "Yeah, that's right. D's nuts," and kicks him through the door, right? Like splintering wood, because again, it's a wood door underwater. We're not asking questions. It's magic wood. And just splinters through. The light of day comes rushing in, and we leave. The end.
The end. Or is it so? Because we are about to engage on our final stretch of the journey
One
home.
last thing.
Ooh.
That's the Lethal Horde saving throw. So now that we're out of the dungeons, we are parting ways, each to go to a place we call home. But hey, what is this place we call home, and are we gonna reach that place? Let's start with the probably very satisfied Saphira after kicking these nuts. You've got a +0 on your Lethal Horde saving throw. You need to roll a d20. You need to roll 10 or above.
Okay. Damn. It's a 9 again, so not quite.
It's a 9. It's a failure. So, Saphira, what is this place you're trying to reach that you call home? And how, as you were trying to reach that place, did one of your objects got you in trouble and led you astray, or made you perish on the way towards your home?
Got me into trouble. it was the bow and quiver again because I tried to do the same thing but with like a palace guard while I was pickpocketing someone, and he didn't find it funny. And there was no door to kick him through, so instead I just kind of D's nuts joked him, and he kind of looked at me and was like, "All right, we're going to jail." And I was like, "Oh."
Going to bad pun jail. All right. And what is the place you call home you are trying to reach?
The place I call home would just be whatever room I can afford in a like dive pub type thing, like
All
the
right.
Mermaid or something. Like it's one of those places, you know.
A
Not
lofty ambition
Thursday,
that
the worst
that
one.
which you failed. All right. Osmodius, you've got 0, so you need to roll 10 or above. Please make your roll.
Oh no. It's a 7 again, actually.
7 again. So, what is this place you call home you're trying to reach, and why was of your object prevented you from reaching it?
Well, okay, so we're trying to get back to Portland, Oregon, because all hipster bards come from Portland.
The magical, fabulous land of Portland.
But unfortunately, the large, solid gold plates of sheet music, tipped the cart that I had found to hitch to Billy the donkey over on the side of the road and broke one of the wheels, so I just ended up getting stuck on the side of the road for an extended period of time.
All right. You might still find that fulfilling somehow.
I mean, it's possible, but it's not home, and I am in my underwear.
Stuck on the side of the road of a donkey, broken down cart, and a bunch of plates.
It's kind of a Shania Twain situation, but with less clothes on.
That's right. Yeah.
All right, I've got a +3, so I need to roll 7 or above. 4, I miserably failed.
Oh no! Our hubris.
All right, so I think on my way back towards my scientific lair, which is located in a Ivy League university, in order to reach it, I had to go through the Ivy Forest. Of course, that's how you go to the Ivy League university. It's of course surrounded by a giant ivy forest.
Makes sense.
Was plowing through at night this ivy forest when my mysterious orb's glow attracted giant moth, which grabbed me by the back and flew off high in the sky towards the moon, carrying Dr. Caligaro screaming. And it still might be a fulfilling experience. We'll find out later. Tog, the Hordian, you've got +3. You need to roll 7 or above.
Dog rolled another natural 1. Dog's dice are weighted. I will never have this kind of luck ever again.
This time it's bad. So, Tog, what is this place you call home, and how did one of your objects prevent you from reaching that place?
Well, obviously, basically, the Rock of Smoosh is going to be both Dog's greatest treasure and his biggest downfall. Like, he will make his way back to his home village, where the Horde village, where everyone hoards everything. But he wanders through the territory of the smooshers, and they recognize their rock and recognize that Dog has defaced their rock, and they had left that rock in a very safe place, in their favorite little dungeon, sunken citadel thing, and they're very upset, and so they come out and they chase Dog off. And so the last we see of Dog is him being chased by a bunch of other barbarians, as he heads over the hill, attempting to carry his Rock of Smoosh with him over the hill, while being chased by a bunch of other barbarians.
Does the rock of smoosh keeps rolling down the hill, and then you
He
have
keeps
to...
trying to push it back up, and they keep and they're all, the thing is they're all trapped in a loop. Like he rolls the rock up the hill, and they chase him up the hill, and it falls down. So he chases the rock down. So they chase him down, and he pushes it back up. And so, from now on, there's just this constant circle of barbarians, just kind of circling, endlessly circling on this one mountain.
Sounds like good cardio exercise, but yeah, we'll find out if you find that fulfilling. As we are about to proceed with the final step of the Gone Paris method, step 6, the emotional epilogue. The final and most important teaching from Paris Gondo is that even if things worked out in the end, if we don't hold tightly to belongings we cherish, we will never be truly satisfied. Let's start with Tog the Torhordian. You've got a total emotion of 13. You need to roll equal or under of that with a d20.
Under
Please
13.
roll.
Okay.
Yeah. If it's a 1 again, that works.
Oh, this time it's not a 1, but it is a 3. So
3! Well, Tog the Hordian, you are with your Rock of Smoosh going up and down that hill. And somehow, thanks to maybe that object or another one, you will find this experience fulfilling for the rest of your days. You will find some kind of fulfillment to the rest of your days. Why and how?
well, the rock itself is not providing him much fulfillment. It's him, but he finds himself fulfilled by the fact that there is this thing, there's this little, as he's running up and down, he's being told these awesome stories about undersea life. And the adventures of this person who lived in this pineapple under the sea. And it's the lich Spongius Bobus basically speaks to him of his ancient days, basically spent under the sea in his pineapple lair. And Thog is very entertained by this. And so basically he got to meet his good friend, the lich Spongius Bobus. And he goes on many adventures with Spongius Bobus, basically to take over the world and sink it all beneath the sea. What yet again?
I told you we'll finally get to the bikini bottom of this. All right, going backwards. So Dr. Caligaro, emotion of 10. I rolled a 13, which is a failure. So I don't find being carried away by moth toward the moon to be a fulfilling experience. I think, quite obviously, the real reason I don't feel fulfilled being carried away to the moon by those moths is that I convinced myself that if I had kept my jumping pole, don't ask, that I left in the dungeon, I could have pole jumped back from the moon back to Earth and my Ivy University. So I am just left weeping, being the new man on the moon with my little glowing orb, which is very sad indeed. Osmodius, you were hitchhiking in your underwear, and you might still find this experience fulfilling for the rest of your days, thanks to one or several of your objects. Tell us, what was the ultimate... Oh, no, wait. Before you tell us the ultimate fate, you need to roll a d20. You've got 19 emotion. You need to roll 19 or under with a d20.
Oh, good. I rolled a 3.
All right. What is this fulfilling hitchhiking in your underwear somehow, at least leading to some kind of fulfillment? What happened?
Well, what happened was, at one point, I just got a little discouraged, and so I sat down and I played the music from the gold-plated sheets of music. And actually, they're solid gold; they're not plated. And I was playing it on the side of the road, and this bus pulled over, and it was all these kids in like bell bottoms, and they were like on their way to Go tour. They were doing music and they heard my jam and they were like, yo, hop on board the bus, bring your gold music, you can be a part of our act. And so they took me along. At some point somebody gave me a spare pair of pants, which was nice because my legs were cold, and it ended up being a truly fulfilling musical experience. And Billy the donkey became an internet sensation because he always asked for live music.
Amazing. And finally, last but not least, Saphira, you got 9 in emotion thanks to your inventory. Please roll a d20.
That is a 4.
4! You find your experience fulfilling. Remind me where you were and how did you find this experience fulfilling at the end, thanks to one or several of your objects. Oh, yeah, you were in jail for bad D's nuts pun.
Yes. For overstepping my being too confident, basically, in my ability to own a guard. So as I'm sitting in jail, hunched over, trying to look exceptionally cool because I am now rogue in jail, the guard comes up and says, "All right, weirdo, let's go." And it turns out that they're letting me go early because they found the halfling coffin of Holden in my inventory and just thought that was really weird and creepy. And they were like, "I don't want to be around this person. Just send them home." So yeah, I ever grateful for picking up the coffin of Holden just because I thought it was kind of a cool thing. I actually start sleeping in it every night because it turns out it's really good for my back versus the crappy pub bed. So yeah, that's the story of Saphira.
A good, solid back. All you need to be fulfilled is a good mattress.
Mm-hmm.
On that, does anyone have anything to add to our emotional epilogue?
Let's see here. I'm trying to think basically if Dog would probably try to visit people because, of course, they're his friends and he needs to visit them, but would probably die trying to jump to the moon.
Aww.
Poor dog.
I appreciate the effort.
You just can't quite make it that far.
All right. Well, that was Magic of Inventoring. Thanks for playing with me.
Hey, thank you.
This was so fun.
This
Yeah,
was
that's
a lot of fun.
good. Wow.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. Well, if you did so, remember to click Notify Me on launch on Kickstarter.
That's good.
All right. Mark, did you want to ask a few questions as a follow-up? Or?
Basically, we will. So, thank you all for watching. Things like that. Basically, thanks again to 20 and Luna. Basically, they at this point, they wish to dip out. Basically, at this point, they can. I'm basically gonna have a just quick discussion with Kalum about what this is, and all the cool stuff that went into it. But thank you again, 20 and Luna, for coming out and playing this with us. Thanks for the contributing. And I will switch us into, I think I have a more, nope, that's the wrong one. Try again.
Thank you very much, 20 and Luna, for joining. See you around.
Thanks, Kalum. That was a lot of fun. I appreciate it. I'll be in the background. Holler if you need me, y'all.
Thanks for putting up. Really appreciate it. It was a lot of fun.
I think it's
I'm glad you liked it.
this one, yeah. Oh, no, that's the wrong person. We'll just stay in here because my other screen is decided to be weird. Okay, it's fine. So basically, I guess the first question, of course, the obvious question is, where do you view this? Is this a role-playing game? Is this a board game? Is this where do you view this kind of landing in that kind of in that spectrum?
Well, it depends who I'm trying to sell it to, but we're not going too much in semantics. Yeah, I called it a role-playing game, but I guess story game cuts it a bit more. I didn't really, I didn't set my mind about what it should be before it sort of happened in terms of creation, and I ended up with this thing. But yeah, you're right to point that out, because part of the Kickstarter, what I realized over time, and that I'm lucky that the folks at Grumpy Bear Publishing realized that this game has potential as something for a wider audience than just seasoned role players. I think it still can work as an introduction to some forms of role playing, but we're gonna try to sell it, let's say it, as a board game in a box, a story game, something akin to Werewolf, the card game, or I guess something like For the Queen, something which is approachable, zero prep, and that you keep pick up on and play very easily, even if you have little experience with role playing game. Hopefully, it will create enthusiasm for things which are crunchier and more traditional. Might not be the right word, but I mean, that's what I love with role playing games nowadays. That you got a wide spectrum of what they can be. They can be things with which are so-called simulationists with very big settings and so on. You got things which fall kind of in between, like a lot of PBTA, and then you got this, like many games that you can find on Itch.io, for instance, which are you pick them up and play. Like one of my favorite role-playing games is a game called Jason Statham's Big Vacation by Grant Horwitz, who also did Honey Heist and so on. And my strong belief with words is that there are more landmarks. You are closer or less close to their core meaning. It's not boxes whether you're in and out. So I would say it's role-playing game adjacent. I guess that's how I would describe it. But otherwise, I guess story game is a better match. A storytelling game, I guess.
I mean, there's a lot of space, and I think you bring up an important point that role-playing games, we shouldn't just limit our definition of them to these giant epic things that we sometimes see on like Dimension 20 or Critical Role or things like that. A lot of times people think basically they get started because they started watching that, they had epic characters and things like that. And it can be a little intimidating. It can stop people from getting into the hobby or something like that. Or it's like, oh, I don't know what to do with this. I don't know where to start. I don't know how do you tell a story. Basically, how do you bring characters and things like that. And it's important to basically be like, no, basically role playing can be the one sheet Honey Heist. This cool box set of prompts and things like that. All of those are still role playing games. They're all still, and they're important to play every once in a while. Just have something different, have something interesting, break out of your normal stuff, and they play something like, oh, maybe you don't normally play a barbarian, maybe you don't normally play a wizard, and you're like, oh, I don't want to, you don't want to invest all the time in creating them and things like that. And be like, try it out here, play something different, come up with some interesting ideas, and then maybe you want to take it into a bigger game later. Or maybe you just want to keep running with this game and basically play, you could turn this into a campaign, multiple sessions and things like that. All of that, basically, it's all, basically role-playing is such a wide and diverse hobby. It's always great to be like, oh yeah, no, we've got things for basically a 2-hour thing as opposed to a 30,000 hour epic adventure that might end in 2075 or something like that. But things like this are important.
In terms of growing the hobby, I think there's still a lot of potential to reach out towards people that didn't get a chance to be exposed. And I think there's overlap of needs for even seasoned players like myself, who find themselves with busy life, with a lot of competing shiny things to do, and having things which are lighter on the prep side, on the expectation that you need to do before playing, but that you can pick up and play. And there's interesting experiments which still go in rather different direction. I really enjoyed what Alice is missing is proposing in terms of packaging and not packaging the literal packaging, but the way it it shapes an experience. It's very contained and straightforward in terms of what you do with it. You've got Dread, you've got again For the Queen. Starcrossed also is an interesting one on the Jenga tower. I tried a while ago Zombie World, which is also quite interesting in the way it's trying to put the PBTA experience in a little box. I'm a bit curious how well it works with newcomers. But yeah, I think that's a space where there's a lot of room, and I think TTRPG creators could try to go there. It's also quite interesting how I find the type of creations that would fit in this realm. Again, I found, for instance, with very indie, so-called indie creators, small creators, but because of the discourse, the culture, those tend at the same time not to care so much about creating a product that could be available to a wider public. So there's kind of a contradiction there. You got systems that would be appropriate for that, but there's not the the interest into pushing that. Like I'm thinking a game I really like, which could do with being promoted more, is Sonia and Conan versus the Ninjas, which it's got a vibe similar to Paris Gondo while being completely different. But yeah, these are made often by creators which are like, oh, I created this game and it would live on its own, find its audience, but they don't spend a lot of time promoting it. It's much less the case in the Anglo-Saxon world, but it's still frowned upon a bit, this promotion of things. I don't know.
Well, basically, one of the interesting things is what we've seen with basically itch.io and Drive-Thru RPG. Itch.io especially has done a lot of cool things with their charity bundles and things like that. So I know you've got a couple of your basically like a former version of this and another game, Rosewood Abbey. Was that the previous one?
Correct. Rosewood Abbey is my second game, so the one that came after.
Basically, and can be found in some of those bundles, and they're great for. Hey, I just basically going out and basically getting one of those bundles and going through it. You support a great cause, and you get a bunch of cool stuff, which maybe you use. Basically, maybe you don't play all of them because there's a lot of stuff in a lot of them, but a lot of them are great for. Even if you don't play them, basically pulling it out and basically looking at this idea, basically playing this game and basically playing it a little bit, going through the ideas and going like, oh, hey, there's some cool ideas. I want to bring some of this experience into my big game. I want to bring some of this experience. I want to use cool ideas and things like that and basically propagate them across, because a lot of times we'll get stuck in a rut of, oh, I just have to do with basically what the traditional thing is. I'm just going to run the adventure the way it is written, and basically we'll run the rules the way they're written, and not basically throwing in these things which can be mini games, side games inside of your game and things like that can give you a lot of cool benefit for basically like, yeah, they're part of huge bundles and you can get a bunch of cool stuff. And so they're great ways of but stopping being a forever GM for a couple of hours and basically having a cool experience, and B, getting cool ideas and pulling those in and doing a bunch and basically getting some cool stuff in your game that may not just be straight by the rules stuff, as it were.
Yeah, I would recommend for again, more seasoned players, whatever it means, the type of games you play, it's quite worthwhile to have those one-shot palate cleanser type of games in between a couple of sessions, as sort of a reset, or refresh your interest, and then you miss a bit your main campaign and you go back to it. But also it sometimes enables you to say, oh yeah, actually you could do this way. You can go back to your D&D, your Pathfinder, your Shadowrun or whatever, and play one of those games and be like, hang on, we could do more flashbacks. Like I could have a roll of dice on a skill check, and rather than just describe what I do, and then the outcome is the roll of dice, you could start inserting little things like a bit more of a Blades in the Dark type of thing. Like, okay, I'm doing this skill check, doing a diplomacy skill check on the on the keyhole because maybe before I talked to someone in the bar and I got the key this way. So that's very Blades in the Dark, but there's, you can play Crash Panda and bring out of that what you could do for a chase inside a more traditional game. For instead, you could do Paris Gondo, and maybe you create an object you find really cool in the game and you bring it in your main campaign.
Yeah, basically, the fact basically items in this game have more than just, they have a cool property and they have a weight. They also have emotional significance and things like that. And realizing, I should make items that I have in basically I give to my players have that more of a tie basically that way, so that they connect better. They connect better with these items and use basically, and they're like, basically this is part of your backstory. This is part of your thing. Why is this item tied to you? And basically giving an opportunity to your players to get more invested in your game is it could be a really great way of adding that value into basically your Pathfinder game, your D&D game. So
yeah, it doesn't have to be your big ass magic artifact you found. It could be something like you're playing Star Wars and you got a DL-44 blaster pistol, but you can go back and be like, hang on, I could come up with a backstory centered on how I acquired this pistol, which is mass produced, which you can find all over the universe. That's the same one as a Han Solo or whatever. Or actually, I'm gonna go back and flesh out my character a bit more, or an adventure. I create a whole adventure centered around the backstory to the pistol itself, rather than it's just a list of objects in your inventory. I always found that it was a bit underused. For instance, in D&D 5th edition, I like that we rolled, I don't remember what they were called, but you would have a trinket, and they served no mechanical purpose in the game. But in most table I played, I thought that there was an untapped potential in that, because those trinkets, you could reuse them to give more flavor to your character by bringing them towards the forefront more often.
Yeah, basically it's great for players and GMs to be like, items have significance. Items have importance in terms of basically why is that piece of art here? What does that jewelry mean? Basically, is it your characters? Is it related, or is it related to something else that will come along later? And now it's the linchpin of somebody sees your character wearing that ring, and because of that, basically you get sucked into this other adventure, things like that. It's good to put a little focus on items should be a little bit more than just plus bonuses to stats, or ways of buying plus bonuses to stats, because you sell them and then buy them. Basically making them interesting, and again bringing your characters to life. Basically we got done with this. We had some. I like the fact that you developed this kind of. We did a lot of asking of questions, things like that. We ended up with 4 interesting characters that we all have backstories for in our heads, and basically had adventures with, basically things like that. And they're interesting basically things for something we just played for a couple of hours to create. And that's a great way. Basically, I can see this being a great way of just generating characters like that. And then you take them on their next adventure. This could be your preview, basically your your session zero, part of your session 0 before you basically play your next game. Is you play this for a little bit, you end up with characters with cool items, those trinkets you're talking about, and they have those emotional impacts.
I would recommend, to try something else than Magic of Inventorying, but with this idea of a premise that really create a framework for a story. Christopher Lowry on Itch.io, again, one of those many games, and you can Chris also publish games, so you can have a physical copies if you want. But he did a game called A Set of Scrubs, in which together players you're gonna develop the story of a set of scrubs. So the scrubs, I don't know, commonly the term is known, but it's the overall clothes you wear as a nurse or a surgeon in a hospital. And in that game, the thread across the whole session is those same clothes, because I don't have experience in medical department, but to my understanding is that you wear them, then you put them in a large bin, and they're being cleaned, and somebody has picked them up at some time. They don't belong to anyone, but yeah, you can have the story of it's a surgeon wearing them, it's a nurse at the end of her shift, or his shift. On another opportunity, it's a quiet shift. On another one, it was a really dramatic one. But yeah, you take this concept again, you put it in Star Wars, you put it in Star Trek or another setting. What does it look like if you got an item or a piece of apparel that's gonna go around this? What if it's a set of standard issues equipment in the Shield in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and what does it look like? The sort of adventures and mundane event that you witness through those clothes.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Basically, of being able to basically focus in on basically telling stories based around one item. Oh, cool! It's got the link right there in the chat. So, yeah, basically, it's one of those ways of being able to basically encourage your players to look at a game more basically rather than just one simple thing. Basically, it's made of lots of individual parts that you can zoom in on and basically tell an amazing story about just one part of it. The joy of itch.io, where sometimes you just go and be like, wait, I already own this. Oh, cool.
It was part of the bundle for Ukraine 3 years ago, so quite a few people own it. Yeah, go back to your old library, itch.io library, and check what you probably already own Paris Gondo, the life-saving magic of inventorying, because I put it in an awful lot of charity bundles.
Yeah, I know the fact that you're basically is it a one that just started recently? Basically, you've got stuff in.
It's currently in 2 bundles. It's inside. I'd save the link. The Palestinian Children Relief Fund, which funding medical facilities and other things to help Palestinian children, and it's still also in the Hello Goodbye charity bundle, which is aimed at funding legal aid for people that might be facing difficulties in relation to, because they're immigrants in the U.
We have briefly lost
US funds to I apologize for everyone who already owns Paris Gondo or Rosewood Abbey through one of those many bundles. I wish I was more proficient or I was more available to design games. I'm not lacking in ideas, but I only published 2, 3 if you count a one-page game I made called Don't Call Me Angel, which is based actually on Jason Statham Big Vacation that I mentioned earlier. It's a one-page RV. Don't Call Me Angel. It's you are part of Ariana Grande entourage, and turns out that Ariana Grande played her first role-playing game recently. She played Vampire the Masquerade, and she was left slightly confused and upset by the experience. Now Ariana Grande is convinced that David Pareanas is a real vampire, and she wants to expose him as such. And you're part of her entourage, and you're trying. So you are a voice coach, a dance/martial arts coach, and a game master, and I forgot who was the 4th one, probably her agent or something like that. And you're trying to keep Ariana Grande out of troubles as she's trying to expose David Barrianas as being a vampire for real.
That's awesome.
Going back to what I was saying, I'm sorry, I'm not productive, so I could have a rotation of games in those charity bundles. But my advice is just, if you're a game designer out there, you should really put your games in those bundles, because it costs you nothing, and hopefully it helps a little in times which are difficult in so many different places and in so many different circumstances, sadly.
And basically, so basically that's the Periscone that you're talking about, which is in the bundle, is the older all digital version of it, and the Kickstarter, which is coming out here soon-ish. I will try to put a date on you. But that will be a physical edition, which will basically it's obviously got new art. Basically, I think you've got an artist you're working with on this.
So there was already a physical edition of the previous edition, the current edition. I'm not even sure I have one around, but it was assembled by myself with dry erase cards, which were really not as nice as the current one. They were just black and white, but I would have them printed and cut someplace. I would have the books printed somewhere else. I would fold the dust jacket of the book. I still got the book over here myself. I would put everything in little brown A5 card boxes, and once I've done all of that and calculated what was the production cost for me, and I had to sell it in a manner that was still, if not profitable, at least not losing me money. I think, if I remember correctly, it was ending up in the realm of $40 for something which was very DIY. It even had actual stones in it, so you would have little stones. I remember selling a copy to Tim Hutchings, the author of 1,000 Years Old Vampire. I didn't even know who he was, but he was the first one to buy a copy from me at UK Games Expo. And I remember Tim telling me, "Hang on a minute, you're telling me that you're selling me a box full of stones?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was, "Great, I'm buying it." But the outcome of that was that it was, DIY, but quite expensive, not really value for money type of things, and certainly not fit to be on the shelves of most friendly local game stores. Although I have shout out to Washington DC's Labyrinth Puzzles and Games, who did stock a lot of, a substantial number of them. Nice. And for some reason a lot of them were sold there, so I'm immensely appreciative of that. There's also Ratty and Cantati, who I think they are the last stores who have this original edition over there, so if you want really a piece of history, you can go there. But with the potential that I raised earlier, that it could attract a broader audience, to attract a broader audience and to find its way on more stores, it needed this added production value. It needs this colorful, nice box. It needs those color cards and so on. And fair enough. I think the system is worthwhile to make this happen. And again, I was lucky that Grumpy Bear Stuff, a member of their team, played the game at Dragon Meet in London, liked the game, and they offered to, just before I was about to launch the Kickstarter on my own, which had a lot of limitations, 2 years ago, they said, well, let's work together instead. That delayed things, but for good reason. And you were mentioning the art. So the original game, so if you get the PDF or you still got the book somewhere, it's already full of art by the same artist, Buddy Hartley, and a little piece of suggestion, advice for game designers out there. So I was very lucky because the art of Buddy was the perfect match for the game, because it's a lot about objects and so on, and it's got this cartoonish vibe that I really like. But for the original game, I did not commission any art from Buddy. It's all art Buddy produced independently from my game, before my game even existed, but that I was able to license from Buddy, which is significantly cheaper than commissioning an artist if you just license existing art from them. So my advice to indie creators there, rather than use so-called Gen AI stuff, have a look at Instagram, find artists there, and if you buy stuff that already exists, it will be way cheaper. Like the art you're showing now, these are commissioned now. Now we are commissioning. We can afford we're commissioning brand new art specifically for the game, and I'm in love with it. But yeah, to get your first step on the ladder as a creator, especially when you start, you have even less money. Licensing art is great, and yeah, this was commissioned, and it involved a lot of back and forth between me and Buddy. I've got a whole sequence of a first sketch by our graphic designer Rita Ortolini, then my annotations, and through different steps, yeah, we ended up with what's the cover now, and I absolutely love it.
Okay. Yeah, basically pulled up some of the art that you see us going by. So what does the Kickstarter what is the Kickstarter going to include? Is it
So it will include a very nice box, all the card decks for the inventory decks for 8 adventurer classes, so the 6 that we showed today, with on top of that, so again, wizard, rogue, cleric, fighter, bard, barbarian. Did I forget someone? I don't think so. Then we got the 2 new classes, the necromancer and the monk, which have mechanics which are slightly different from the other ones. You're gonna have a rule book. You're gonna have the dice in the box, because again, aiming for a broader audience, we don't want some parents picking up a copy, going home, opening it with their children, and being like, oh, we need a D20 and there's none in the box. No, there's going to be a D20, there's going to be a D6. All the cards are dry erase. There's going to be a dry erase pen. There's going to be a much slimmer book with the rules, which is going to be condensed to be easier to read. There's going to be the dungeon creation character card. There's going to be an X card, which still need to be redesigned. Spark Joy cards. You're going to have tokens for the Spark Joy. I think for the content of the box, that's pretty much it. As part of the Kickstarter, there's going to be a thicker book like this one, probably still soft cover, because one thing that I experimented with my first game, and that received good feedback about, so I don't know if you can see here, but so the inspiration for the game is a Japanese entrepreneur, Marie Kondo, but the game format itself is inspired by how Japanese role-playing game, tabletop role-playing game as they're called, they usually have at the front of the book, even Call of Cthulhu, the Chaosium Call of Cthulhu, if you buy it, at the front of the book you got a whole section, and if you see here the black bit, if you can see, the black bit is the rules, and you're gonna be like, okay, but what's all the white bit in front of the book that's 80 pages long? That's called a replay, and it seems to be the norm in Japan, and that's a full transcript of a full session. So it's an actual play, actually, and the Japanese have been at it for at least since the 80s. So, Critical Role, Dimension 20, all of that, the podcast, the audio, the streaming, the twitching. The Japanese have been doing that for decades, but in paper format. And just like people seek out videos of Critical Role, in Japan, people would buy books with just those transcripts because they enjoy reading the adventures of players, like we like listening to the adventures of popular streamers. Like, hopefully people enjoyed this video and our actual play. But as a game designer, also, it helped me explain the game in a different way than the rules. So it enables me to be very synthetic, very succinct with my rules, because when I write, I don't waffle on like I do when I'm talking. But at the same time, it really helps people understand how the system works. And in the Kickstarter only, not in the retail version of the game, people will have the opportunity to buy a version of the box which will feature a book like that with the replay from the original edition, and probably 1 or 2 additional replays as well. So that's an additional perk from that you will find in the Kickstarter that you will not find afterwards in retail stores. And then you got little perks like fancier tokens, badges. We don't want to be. We agree with Grumpy Bear Publishing that we don't want to put things in there which are out of tone or just cluttering the game. But yeah, we do have a few ideas to make it a bit more of a treat for supporters who want to spend a little more on the game on Kickstarter and therefore support the project and so on.
That's great. Yeah, basically, brief aside, basically replays are huge in Japan. Basically, the biggest one, of course, is basically, you probably have heard it if you've known anime at all. It is Record of Lodoss War. Is in fact basically was just a actual play that started in a magazine and took over Japanese culture, and in fact is the reason why D&D isn't as big in Japan as it is here. So
yeah, the biggest there is Call of Cthulhu, and which leads itself quite well to this type of format. And I fell in love really with the format, which is of the book itself, which is manga size, and the concept of that replay. And my follow-up game, if I have a copy here, Rosewood Abbey. There it is. Rosewood Abbey is in a similar format. So awesome. It's softcover, pocket book, black and white, quite cheap to buy, fits in a handbag, and you can carry it around. And same thing, small rules, but with the replay in front. And again, it's quite neat to explain how things work without being too wordy. I find it useful to separate. Okay, this is the mechanic, how it works, and how you apply it is in the replay itself. The replay is sort of a show don't tell approach to the thing, which again, actual plays are interesting to explain role-playing games, also to make them popular, but doing so in text format, you're in control of the pace. It's much easier to rewind, to go back, to reread several times a specific chapter to really feel like you're on top of a specific rule you might be struggling to understand or not you're quite sure how to apply. Long story short, I love replay, and I would really encourage more designers to include them in the design of their games.
Yeah, basically replays are a really, really neat way of basically just showing people, oh, this is just storytelling, because a lot of times you're like, oh, there's all these dice, there's all these rules, there's all this stuff going on, I don't know if this. You're like, no, just look at this. Basically, look at this replay, or basically, here it is. It's just telling story, and occasionally some things interject when decisions happen, and so it's great. It's great for being able to pull that out. I like the fact that you're putting them in there.
And credit where credit is due. I posted a link to a YouTube video. The way I found out about replays was through a video by Kotodama Heavy Industries, who is an English language publisher who published the translation of a couple of Japanese role-playing games, including Shinobigami, which is very intriguing in terms of system. So I would recommend to check it out. But their team put together a very simple and just 40 minutes long video explaining what replay, how they work, and their popularity in Japan. So it's really a worthwhile watch, I find.
Awesome. So one last thing before we'll probably wrap this up. But basically, we've been playing with this kind of obviously this is a makeshift digital version. But I believe basically you've also talked about the fact that there's a possibility that there will be people can try this out either part of the Kickstarter or as a reward for the Kickstarter, that there will be a digital version of this as well, basically available online. Basically, hopefully I'm not rushing you or saying anything too soon, but so basically by bringing that up.
I mean, I'm going to go on a limb. I haven't tried it yet. It's an idea from, again, Grumpy Bear Publishing, and apparently they know experience of people with that, and apparently it's feasible. I mean, the first thing, about the Miro, this game was developed, born really, I stepped up its development during the pandemic, and I ran it a shit ton online, like really. So even the Miro worked quite well, but yeah, the ability to play online is something which is dear to me. I mean, I part of the Open Art community also, which I really recommend checking out, and they play a lot of online gaming. So yeah, I would love to have a tool like that. So what I'm told, I haven't seen it yet. It's gonna use a virtual, I think it's called Virtual Tabletop. So it's on Steam. So people apparently would have to purchase the main system platform. So it's a one-off purchase on Steam, and then you got a lot of different board games there. And I'm told it should work fine. I think it could even work with the VR headset. But yeah, long story short, you have a virtual table with those cards that you can trade, flip, and write on them. Because yeah, Miro was a lifesaver, because for the longest time I started playtesting this game just before the pandemic, and when the pandemic happened, I was like, well, that's it. I cannot playtest it anymore because I could not find a way to have cards that people could write on and then exchange on, Roll20 and similar platforms. That I don't think that. I mean, it might be possible with coding, but it was hard to find. And Miro just provided that solution. It could still break a bit on the edges now and then, but it was very serviceable, and it really contributed to the development of the game. And Miro is, if you don't need, it's great because it's light. I think, like, I if you just need to to exchange some images and so on, and write on things, for a lot of smaller so-called story game, indie games, it works very well. Between you and me, I've seen some streamers use For Rosewood Abbey, come up and having encoded a whole, I don't know if it's called Foundry, but Roll20 type of things, an interface for that game. And it seemed that it was making the game heavier than it needed, because at the end of the day, you just need a few pages to look at. But yeah, I would recommend a Miro. But yeah, sorry, getting late and I'm tired. But yeah, virtual tabletop, full 3D, hopefully very useful, a very accessible platform anyway. Definitely should be part of the Kickstarter, even at the lowest pledge level. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure how it's gonna work, because it's with Grumpy Bear, not with me.
That's fine, Betsky. I just figured if people were like, "Oh, can I do this? Can I check this out digitally?" Basically, a digital version, well, basically, is likely to be in the works. Basically, so basically, going forward, good.
As an explanation to another question you asked me before, the thing is, when is the Kickstarter finally launching? I really wish I had an answer for that. And it might seem a bit odd that I do not, but the reality is that there's a lot of these things that we want ready and working ahead of the launch. And because there's a large number of people involved and people who have different obligations, that tends to delay things a bit. Also the thing that we really want to get across is that we want the game to be affordable. It's very important for me, and it's very important for Grumpy Bear for it to be commercially viable. But that means that we need to get our quotes from manufacturers right. That means that we have an initial goal, or at least a break-even goal, which is quite high. We need to sell a number of copies so that the price is below that threshold, which should be $30, $25, maybe $35. But that means we really need all our ducks to be in a row before we click this going live thing, which is why right now we are ranging in 723 followers on Kickstarter, which is amazing, pre-launch. But yeah, discussing with the people helping us with marketing and so on, we will continue effort to probably at least reach 1,000, which is quite a lot ahead of actually launching. And but as we get closer to that, yeah, we come closer to get an actual date. But yeah, this uncertainty pre-launch hopefully will prevent the chances that I mean, I supported a lot of Kickstarters that can be a rather hazardous affair. I mean, that can be the fulfillment might be a bit lacking. We are really, really working hard so that the game is ready, and bar a couple of additional drawings, yeah, fulfillment will be sorted before the Kickstarter concludes, if not before it launches.
That's great. It's always great for us when you go into a Kickstarter, when you're looking at it, being like, oh, these people, they've done their homework. They've looked at, they've got the prices. They're quoting us what they actually know. They're not just coming to Kickstarter with a hope and a dream and some cool images. And it's always great to be able to, like, oh, I can trust that these people know what they're doing, and if I pledge that they bar, because Kickstarter's never a guarantee, et cetera, et cetera. But they at least know what they're doing. They at least basically,
Yeah,
I'm not just throwing my money out there. So that's good to know.
and the delay also is due to the know that we need to know, and if people are not aware, to know you need sort of a stable conditions, and in terms of manufacturing, shipping, and tariff, things have been changing quite a lot over the last year. So we're trying to find our most best way around that, in order to do this. I just saw Luna had a question asking if we have any plans for community copies as an add-on with the Kickstarter. We haven't thought of that, so thanks for the suggestions. So I will bring it to Grumpy Bear, see what we can do for that. So that's a very good suggestion. So for the Kickstarter, I don't know yet, but yeah, that would be interesting. For the old Paris Gondo and Rosewood Abbey, well, it's not quite the same, but these are called community copies as well. On itch.io, you will always find community copies for my games, which are free. If you are struggling financially, or if you want to write a review or stream something, or you're just a bit hesitant, whatever your reasons, get a free community copies of my games online. I'm not putting games for free anymore. But I always include community copies, which means, yeah, actually they are free, but it's not the default option not to go there.
But support your art, basically. If you are able, support your artists and your authors.
Yeah.
As always. All right. Well, thank you so much for the time, and so basically, thanks for being willing to stay up late, basically, and for your time, basically.
It's only 8:30 here, so it's fine. It was just that turning off my laptop just here on my side from work to switch to my desktop, unfurled my old green screen from my streaming days from, I don't know, 4 years ago, and all of that. But yeah, no, thank you so much for your interest in the game and playing with me, and it makes me very, very sincerely happy that yourself, 20, and Luna apparently enjoy the game.
All right. Well, basically, thank you so much, basically, and the wrong link will show up in chat. But in any case, basically, the Kickstarter link is in the chat, basically. So if you are listening to this either now live or on our video later, the link will be in the description below, basically, for the Kickstarter. So go, and if it's live, basically grab a copy. If it's not, sign up to be notified. I know myself and several others, people who just played it, are definitely planning on or have already done that. So basically, definitely encourage that. And so, thanks again for basically coming out here and showing this off.
One last thing.
Yep.
It's not a self promo, but at the end of November, if you're anywhere in Europe or if you can afford travel, at the end of November we have Dragon Meet here in London. Not only we have Dragon Meet here in London, which is really a role-playing game focused convention. It's not like Hessen or the big UK Games Expo, where there's a number of role players over there, but it's definitely a lot of board gamers, war gamers, and so on, which are awesome. That's not the question. But Dragon Meet is the convention of role players. It's in London. It's easy to fly to. It's easy to take the Eurostar to if you're on the continent. It's easy to get from the airport to the new place where it's going to be. It's moving to a much larger venue. If I get my numbers right, Dragon Meet up to last year was 3,000 square meters. They increased to 4,000 or 5,000,
Oh, nice.
moving to a much larger venue called the XL. And following the demand from exhibitors, now it's going to be 7,000 square meters. So it's a massive increase of space, but it's a big gamble from the lovely organizers of Dragon Meet, Hello John Dodd, and all the team. But it's very important to make it a success. So if you have any opportunity, I really recommend everyone to come join us at Dragon Meet and have an awesome time for us. It's also a single day. So if you come to London, it's only your Saturday. You got your Friday and Sunday to enjoy, being a tourist in London if you want. Or you can fly into London, take the train into London, enjoy Dragon Meet, and get back the same evening and spare yourself the cost of a hotel. Just one night just one day of amazing role-playing game. I hope we see many more people there this year.
Those are always great to support and basically get out there and just meet other people and basically see other cool creators and creations.
Yeah, and that's the one place I've been at it for a few years, because before being a designer, I was a podcaster of TTRPG, proudly London-based, and Dragon Meet is the place where all the people I met, I befriended in the TTRPG community in the UK and beyond, gather under a single roof for just one day, and it's an amazing mood. And hopefully, we need to fill that much bigger space now. So are we gonna succeed to make that as intimate and nice and have the place not feel empty at all? That's a big challenge that we need to try to achieve.
Great. I do wish you the best of luck with that, basically, and possibly basically Lore Link, basically, to get by, basically will be there at some point in the future, basically, because we love going out and traveling to different conventions and basically seeing and meeting people. So basically, as one last note, of course, basically, thank you again for being here. And of course, this is basically the reason why we do all this is because basically the product I'm working on, Lore Link, is a role-playing toolkit for role-playing games of any type. And so while it might not be a perfect fit for a game like this, there's a lot of cool stuff that you could generate over the course of playing this game that you might want to store and basically keep track of all the cool items and their relationships to different players and things like that. And so if you want a cool basically way of managing the notes and other stuff that you start from your campaign, and you want one place to put it all, so that basically when you get done with all of this and you clear off all the dry erase boards, you still have a place to keep all those notes and remember all those cool things and adventures you had. Basically, Lore Link is a great way of doing that. Basically, we've got the Get Started link right there in chat, so you can find out more about it. You can sign up for our newsletter, and you can also basically check out the free campaigns that we have right there. So basically, you can sign up, basically, and get 2 free campaigns and check that out right there. And of course, basically, we do tons of this is a busy week here on Twitch, and we'll be back here tomorrow playing video games, basically as a brief break, basically before we as we play a little bit of Power Wash Simulator 2. We'll be playing that with Tony, our communications director. I'll get his title right eventually. And then we'll be back here on Halloween night to play Monster of the Week with the Lore Link players as well. So big full week, and if you want to know more want to be notified when we do stuff, follow us right here on Halloween Day. That will be during the afternoon, not Halloween night, because a lot of the Twitch players, a lot of the Lore Link players will want to get out Halloween night and do cool things. So basically, that'll be Halloween during the afternoon. So check us out. You can follow us here on Twitch. That's free, and you'll get cool notifications that pop up and say, "Hey, Lore Link is doing something interesting." And if you subscribe to us, that's always appreciated, never required. If you have the Luna Gaming, whatever their name is for it now, the Twitch Prime Amazon Gaming from the from the dead halfling corpse of basically of what was the name? Bezos, basically Billum Bezos. So basically, if you wish to take money out of his,
yeah, Bill
you want-
Bezos.
yeah, basically, if you wish to take money out of his basically undead pocket and put it into ours, you could use that free subscription to give us a 1-month subscription for free using that gaming.amazon.com link right there. And of course, if you're watching this over on YouTube, liking the video, basically commenting, subscribing to the channel, all are always appreciated as well. So basically, you can
One
also
last
follow.
plug.
Go for
Sorry.
it. Go for it, please. Plug away.
I plug Dragon Meat here in the UK, London. If you cannot fly to London, you're lost, but I know it's expensive and time consuming. But maybe you are closer to Dayton, USA. And in Dayton, I forgot the date. There's a little convention, not so little, called Acadecon, which is 3 days. You can play a lot of games there. Yeah, okay. So it's from. Hang on, that's not right. Oh yeah, sorry. US format of dates. I was confused. That would have been a rather long convention from Friday the 11th of July till the 11th of September. No, it's from November the 7th till November the 9th. So it's very close. It's in Acadecon. And I know that someone there, Jack Vincent, very generously volunteered because it knows it's a steal to run Magic of Inventorying at that convention, where there are plenty other games on offer and an amazing group, the people from the RPG Academy. So yeah, Acadecon, I highly recommend heading there if you are anywhere nearby. Dayton, Ohio.
Yep. So basically, we are actually Lore Link actually sponsors the tape. Basically, sponsors tables
Oh,
there.
well.
So we 100% basically second that recommendation. And if you have that weekend free and you want to play games, head to a Catacon. Basically, it's over in Dayton, Ohio, which is relatively close. Basically, a lot of Lore Link is based in and around Indianapolis, which is right nearby. So. But we definitely recommend them. We sponsored their tables, and we appreciate everything they do. So definitely head that way. So, all right. Any other plugs before the end?
I mean, I could plug constantly. Give me a team, and I'll come up with the name of someone I know who designed something. Or yeah, okay. One last plug. Go check my rather inactive but still interesting TTRPG podcast called The Released, the proudly London-based TTRPG of TTRPG enthusiasts across the channel, the pond, and beyond. And you will find a lot of great things, including the RPG Academy Film Studies, which I co-produce with the organizers of Acadecon, which consists of reviewing movies through the lens of role-playing games. So you can hear Grant Howitt tell about Fast and Furious 5. You can hear from Dr. Linardi talking about The Name of the Rose, which inspired this book. You can hear me tell the Bakers, authors of Apocalypse World, that they should use their own game to adapt Stalker, and a bunch of exciting movies there. The Brotherhood of the Wolf, Delicatessen. Go check Film Studies and other the Rollist was funny, not the Film Studies one, but I'm one of the few podcasts that would interview people mostly in person, so that gives a bit of a different vibe than other TTRPG podcasts. So even if it's a couple years old, I hope it's still fresh. So go check it out.
Sounds great. And of course, I would be remiss if I didn't mention, of course, we're talking about our communication director, our Blue Sky account. So if you want to basically check that out, we have plenty of conversations about cool TTRPG topics going on there. So check us out there if you wish to engage with social media. Basically, our feed is nice and fun and clean. If you don't want to engage with it, check out our newsletter. It summarizes everything, and it just gets delivered to your inbox. You don't have to deal with social media. But all right. Thank you again so much for being here. Thank you so much for running. It's been great fun basically playing this and basically discussing it with you. And thank you all for watching. And we will catch you all later. Farewell.
Take care. Bye.